the Other Stuff Show with the kids talk about other stuff. Yeah.
You know, it's better. But is it good? You know,
it's new.
it's
That's
new.
what I'll say. It's new.
Oh, welcome back to another Other Stuff episode. It's been a while. When was the last time we did one?
January.
Yeah, January. Yeah, because
Yeah.
we were talking all about our like end of the year or like best of 2023 stuff back then.
Right.
Yeah.
It's so funny looking at that image for that show with all the different stuff behind Mark and Alan.
Yeah.
All those things seem so far away.
Yeah, they really do.
Even though I think there's one thing that's on there twice. Like, I think there's a repeat, right?
Oh yeah, there is one.
I think it's just the one. I'm excited to talk about that.
Yeah, for sure.
That's
I know
right.
what it is too. I still haven't watched it.
Yeah.
We are all like a wildly different shade. Like Wyatt is just straight white. I'm like slightly pink. Bill is like orange, and Ryan is like Batman in the shadows. You are.
But I'm my typical color.
Oh, I don't have my
That's true.
ring light or
Bill's
anything.
consistent.
When
Bill's
people show up,
consistent.
they expect me to look like this. Ryan, you
That
look
is
like
true.
it's the 90s and you're using
know
your
what?
dad's camcorder.
The ring light was in use for filming the board game videos for Invincible, the hero building game, which everybody should go watch those. Come on, what are you doing after this? Maybe.
Yeah.
So I don't have my ring light set up, so I'm in the shadows. So maybe when you guys talk about something that I didn't watch, I'll like fumble around and set that up because I'm just now realizing that after
Yeah.
could have told me sooner. So what's going on,
All right.
guys? How you doing?
You know,
Good.
Doing good.
Okay.
Excited to finally talk about some other stuff on the show.
Mhm, mhm. Where do we want to start?
It's a
we
good
can
question.
start with something that premiered like a week after we ended our the week after we did our Other Stuff show last time. The live action Avatar.
That's right. Yeah, I know. I was
Oh
putting
my
together
God.
my list of like things that have happened since the last time we did one of these, and I was like trying to see. I was just Googling like best shows, best movies of 2024 so far, and I forgot that last time Avatar had not come out. I'll start with what I thought of Avatar. I had a lot of fun with it. It's not. I don't think it's perfect, and it wasn't. It's not. I wouldn't ever put it on like the same tier as the original animated series. But if you're a fan of the original animated series, I think you owe it to yourself to watch it because there's so many great things in it. There's a lot of great moments. There's a lot of great performances. There's a lot of performances that are like kid actors that are, not incredible, but they're, I don't know. I don't know that there's a version of the show that's really that much better than what we got. And I'm excited to see how they evolve that in season 2, especially now that the actors will be a little more comfortable in their roles and everything. That I really enjoyed it. Didn't blow me away, but I was excited to get through all of it and excited to get to the finale.
I want to say I was a bit late. Sorry, Bill. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, apart from casting Tom Holland as all of the child, roles, I don't think, I feel like people need to go in with realistic expectations. Like, if you watch the first season of the animated show, the voice acting is like not great. Like, it's good, but it's like over the top and zany and stuff like that. So I think the show was, it was fucking great. I cried. Like, there were moments where I shed tears. And I thought it was a fantastic adaptation.
I'm probably somewhere in between the two of you because I feel like I jumped into it a little late. Like after I had kind of gotten the vibe, like, oh, okay, go in with the right expectations for this thing.
Mhm.
It is not even on the same level, like you're saying, Wyatt, as the original, which we all hold so dear. And it was a lot of fun. It was fun. I really enjoyed it. It was great. I wouldn't say I don't think I cried, but it definitely has some cringy stuff. Some of the acting is a bit rough. But yeah, very excited for what they do with season 3 because they got a season 2 and 3 pickup, right?
Yeah,
they're going to finish it.
Yeah.
They're going to finish the show, which is awesome.
It's awesome. Yeah, let them finish it, and I think that's really cool.
I think that it's easy to compare it to the show because with this with the live action, you pretty much have to compare it to the show, which I kind of don't like. Like you're like, oh, like the show is zany and it's like this, it's like that. I don't think that cartoon style correlates or can like goes into live action well. I don't think it fits well. And I thought that the first episode,
All the other direction, then you get M. Night Shyamalan.
Yeah, so it's like I feel like the first episode is borderline unwatchable. It was a struggle for me to get through it. Then episode 2 was better. Episode 3 was even better. Episode 4 was very good. Episode 5 was great, and it just kept getting better and better and better. So if you do watch the first episode or the second episode, whatever, and you're not getting into it, I suggest sticking with it and just get through it because it ends like it gets awesome. It really does. But I thought it was a very rough start. But that's okay. Just stick with it.
Yeah. And I agree with you, Owen. Like I see how that was an issue. And I could see that, you know, you put so many episodes and so much storytelling compressed into, you know, 8 1-hour episodes. And you do miss a little bit of the character progression when it comes to like especially Aang and Katara and their relationship. But I think it's fine. I think it's okay.
Again, just you have to go in with expectations of this is an adaptation for what it is. I mean, you could say that about anything. Fucking Harry Potter books are that thick, and you get an hour and a half, 2-hour long movie. You know what I mean? You don't.
And I remember that's all I heard after those movies because we were working at the theater at the time of the last like 4 or 5 or whatever were coming out, and we would go see them. And then if we saw it with someone, a friend that had read the books, they'd be like, "Yeah, but you know, it's." And the further they got toward the end, the more different they had become. But
I don't know if I fully agree though, because the first season, I don't think it's much longer than the first season of the live action. Those were 20-minute episodes. There were what, like 18 episodes or something? 20 episodes. 20 episodes at 20 minutes each, and then there were 8 episodes at like an hour each. I don't know. I think they're relatively equal.
Yeah. But yeah, worth a shot. I think you should watch it.
Yeah, for sure. I can take it to not that we have to go like
just kind of go around, or I was gonna say
we can each
take that too.
That's what we did last time. We each
and
one
this is kind of chronologically and staying in the realm of TV in around like February-ish. We got a show called Mr. and Mrs. Smith on Prime Video, and I can't remember who here has watched it. I know Ryan watched it, right?
Yes.
Bill or TJ, did you guys watch it?
No, Ryan. I thought you and Ryan both watched it on the last Other Stuff show.
No, because it came out in like February. Yeah.
TJ, I've been trying to watch this. You need to watch this show.
Wyatt.
I know, because I do like the movie.
Wait, I don't know if the comments are going to be able to keep up with this, but guess how many episodes I watched of Mr. and Mrs.
I'm going to guess more than 1 and less than 3.
3. I watched 3 episodes.
You
said less than 4. Yeah.
There you go.
How many episodes of Arcane did you watch, Bill? How many episodes of Scavenger's Reign did you watch, Bill?
I thought it was 2. I thought the canon was 2, but I forgot.
Yeah, it's 3's the magic number for me, man.
Matt, you watched 2 episodes of that? Matt in the chat. I want to know if you watched only 2 episodes. I want to know why you didn't keep going.
So to give the sort of elevator pitch or why I think it's great, because I guess I don't really need to give an elevator pitch. We had a movie, and it is an adaptation of the movie. It's 2 spies that are married to each other. But what I love about it so much is that it has the sort of through line of the espionage spy stuff happening where there's action and there's tension being built throughout the whole season. But each individual episode kind of jumps around in time to where a lot of time has passed in between the episodes. And each one is like its own little metaphor for a certain stage of a relationship. Yes. Like there's the first date one. There is the like going on your first vacation together one. There's the moving in one. There's the like taking care of a toddler one. There's all kinds of like these sort of vignettes of relationships for each episode. And it's so great. It ends on, I would say, a cliffhanger. And I'm very excited that it got picked up for season 2. And based on a few, like, weirdly, I've seen Donald Glover and Maya Erskine, who are the 2 leads, doing like late night shows talking about season 2 recently. And that's
I thought they weren't coming back.
And that's a little bit strange. It makes me very excited to see what they do next, because I think it's
that's
been
cool. I
left
heard-
very ambiguous about whether they're coming back. And I
Yeah.
think that's really, really cool. It is one of, if I had to rank like best TV shows that are like new shows that came out this year, I feel like it would be close to being my number one for sure.
Dude,
And
it was
again,
yeah,
like
it was very good.
I watched 3 episodes, but life just kind of hits. I have 2 kids, which is one more with them Wyatt, which is why I probably don't watch as much stuff.
You're about to
That's
talk.
That's not a good excuse.
You're
but
about to talk about all the things that like disproves that. Like
I did watch
no,
like
but
the majority of the show on the plane ride home from when I came to visit you guys
Yeah.
in February.
Oh,
so
see, there
I
you
had
go.
a good
But
chunk of time.
It was very good. The tone was super like weird. It was different. It wasn't like a typical like sitcom or even like action comedy. It was mostly dialogue and relationship, but in like a really interesting, fun way. And yeah, I really liked it. There's no reason why I didn't finish it other than I just fucking fell off. So I'm definitely gonna go back. So watch that show. It is good.
So I loved the
I'm
movie.
gonna keep a tracker of every time Bill says that. I'm gonna go back to it. I'm gonna go back.
Make a compilation. So next time we do the other stuff show, we're like, Bill, we need updates on these 4
Yeah.
shows.
Yeah.
I watched 3 more episodes of each show, and there's 2 episodes left.
I loved the movie, but I think one of you guys, I don't know if it was you guys or somebody explained it to me that they're like really, really, really good filler episodes. Every episode is his own like tight story, and then it goes on. It's a completely different story. Like, and I don't know. I don't if they all connect, not just the finale, but like they all each individually connect. Like 4 connects to 5, then I'll watch it.
You
Just
cannot
connect in
skip
some way.
They
You
do.
can't skip one of them.
Okay.
Like they,
All right,
they
so
definitely do
absolutely do.
connect. But like Wyatt was saying, which he said better than I could have, is they're all telling one story, one adventure, like one. They all have one theme. And then the next one, yeah, it's continuing. They're referencing things that happened in the previous ones, but it almost has a certain. It's not like it's a different genre, but it has a certain theme to each episode, and it's
Okay.
fantastic. I loved that because
I will
made
watch
it
it.
feel a little different.
Yeah, there's a what did I want to say here? Oh, Owen said take a shot every time Bill says I only watched 2 episodes.
We don't want
You guys-
anyone to die here.
You guys
okay?
better hold bottles of alcohol if you want to keep up.
Bill, do you want to go next, or do you want me to?
You can go next.
Oh, all right. The reason I got into superheroes and superhero comics and things was this show called X-Men the Animated Series.
We're going right into it.
You're
We're
going
going
like
right
this
into
is like
Dude,
this should be like
listen,
this should be like an
Cyclops is
episode
front and
finale.
center.
No, we've got-
Cyclops is front and center on that
No,
thumbnail.
no,
for
no,
a
no.
reason,
This
okay?
is no, but this needs to be talked about. My favorite character growing up was Cyclops. I still have the Fleer X-Men card back there. I got it signed by the artist and everything. Like Cyclops was the reason I grew into liking superheroes and comic books. My first comic book was a X-Men comic book because of that show and because of those things. Hearing that this show was coming out, it was like, a little what, trepidatious, not so sure that this is going to be good. A little nervous it was going to be more what if than what we had hoped. And then seeing this first episode, and within the first 5 minutes, getting the best interpretation of Cyclops we have ever gotten in my entire life was such a highlight, and it was incredible. And so the show went on. I mean, obviously episode 5 was incredible and one of the best episodes of television, probably. I mean, especially animated television I've ever seen. And then they nailed the landing. It's so exciting. I can't wait to see what they do next. This series was incredible, and they gave every character their due and their time to shine. The voice acting, everything about it, I just absolutely loved. Who of you finished it?
Me. Wow.
So Bill,
Bill, how many episodes did
Wait.
you-
Bill, hold on. The last episode that you and I watched it together at C2E2 in the hotel room.
Unbearable. It was
the
so
worst episode.
bad.
It was really bad.
It's so hard to why do they do that? Why do they slam on the fucking brakes in the middle of an amazing show to fucking spirit realm fucking storm making her costume out of weather particles? Fucking stupid.
it's all, dude.
Bill,
It's all.
was that the last episode you watched?
Yeah, that's the last episode
Yeah.
we watched
Okay.
together, isn't it? Oh no,
It-
no, no,
It-
no, no, no.
no,
Oh no, the
well,
one we
only
watched was
watched
the one
two
with-
together.
Yeah, the one I think I watched. Are we gonna spoil shit on this or no?
No.
Just in
That
case
one's a little
people
too
haven't watched
A
it.
character. I think I watched the one after that as well.
Yeah. I think I don't know. Like I don't think that I actually didn't care for the Mojo one. I know a lot of people liked that one, but
Oh, I love that
Storm
one.
yeah,
did
the
too.
Storm-
Mojo. Wait,
The one
Who's
with
Mojo?
Jubilee.
Oh, that's the video game one. I
video
like
yeah.
that one.
It was like a
That's
mini
the thing,
episode
'Cause
as well. It was
I
half
had
of
the
an
video
episode.
game when I was
I
younger.
actually liked the Storm one more than that. I think it's just preference. It was just
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Ryan,
I
you
think
would.
I think that it I think that it only hurt that episode because it came right after one of the craziest episodes. Like that the episode right before that with Gambit and all of the stuff that happens there was so incredible and so shocking and like
Oh,
took the show to another level
That was
that
episode-
it was easy to judge the following episode. I
the
think.
Mojo
So-
one. I think was the episode right after Goblin Queen. Like was after
Yeah,
that.
Oh, I watched that one
think
too.
so.
That was the third episode or second or whatever. But yeah, the
It was
whole
right before Gambit.
Jean Grey
Yeah.
reveal.
So
Oh,
Ryan, you have always said, and I've always agreed with you about Cyclops and how like over the years they've made like there was Wolverine in the X-Men and like Wolverine is like the new, and I've always agreed that I'm not like an X-Men fan. I've always liked X-Men. I liked the movies when I was younger and stuff, but I've always also hated that. And this show could have gone in that direction. And not only that, but there are other things that I can't think of off the top of my head, which I felt like they could have gone in new directions because of the times, and they didn't do that. It felt very much like the 90s cartoon, and I loved that. I love that they didn't like stray away from that and didn't feel pressure to do that. And because of that, over the years, I've kind of grown to like not really like Wolverine that much. But Wolverine was perfect in this too because he was who he was supposed to be.
Yeah.
So
dude,
And he
Will
wasn't
was
even
incredible.
from what
Gambit,
up to why I watched, Wolverine wasn't even really that
no,
big. Like
Yeah.
he wasn't.
which
the
is what
main
he should be.
character.
I like the idea of him being in the background and being a badass and having
he was funny.
Yeah.
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
Cyclops calling out. I'm sorry, Christopher calling out Cyclops' landing moment, which was incredible, but also Nightcrawler. This was also one of the best interpretations of Nightcrawler. His relationship with Rogue, like
Yeah.
actually treating her as his sister and everything. Oh my god,
Bill,
it was
I'm not going to spoil
so
it,
good.
Bill, but I'm going to tell you in the last 3 episodes, because the last 3 episodes are like, they said that that's sort of one story. The last 3 episodes, it's like almost like a movie to end.
I
the
really think that's
series.
what I have left. I really think that's. I
And
don't have
it's-
much left.
It is the best, I think, the best 3 episodes of the show. And in, I think, one of the first ones, there is a fight sequence that features Nightcrawler and Wolverine kind of like working together. And after finishing it, I remember telling Nicole, I was like, I feel less excited for Deadpool and Wolverine because there's no way they could do anything as cool as what I just saw. Like, I really can't imagine. And I said that to Ryan after the first 2 episodes that like, I don't know how the live action X-Men could make me as hyped and excited to see like as much as this show did. Like from the first episode of like Chris calling out the landing and then they give him the forecast.
Oh my
all
God.
of that stuff is so
Yeah, that was
it's
great.
amazing. It's
I mean,
so good.
it reminds me kind of Invincible. I mean, we're getting such a great animated series that is a perfect adaptation of the comic, and it's like live action. It's like it's feeling less and less necessary, and it makes me feel like with the MCU with X-Men is, do they need it? And I mean, I'm excited to see whatever they do, and I trust that they're going to do it right. But this is perfect. This is perfect. I don't know.
So here's the question. If I were to ask you your top 3, maybe 5 favorite episodes of season 1, and there were how many? 10?
I think so.
I would bet that if I were to ask your top 5, 4 out of the 5 were all written by Bo DeMeo, who is now gone. He's on season 2. He already wrote season 2. I'm sure season 2 is going to be great.
I think he
Do
said that
you
there was
trust
a lot
them?
of things about season 2 that he will not have a hand on, and things may have changed
Okay.
since his departure.
You're not worried with him not being there? I don't know. He was the best part of season 1.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess we'll see. Because I mean, I'd like to think that there are so many people involved in the show that he didn't make the show himself. I know he wrote it, and I know that a lot of his ideas are in there, but I can't imagine they got all the way to the spot they were at without having people that also cared and also gave their input and also did rewrites and co-wrote and directed. I mean, those are all different people and different teams. So I don't know.
And
We'll
especially if you watch they released the like making of X-Men 97 on Disney Plus, I think the week after the finale aired. It's such a cool documentary. Like if you love 97 and you haven't watched that yet, you really should. They show, because it's not just a documentary about 97, but about the original show. And they like interview a lot of not just the voice actors who returned, but some of the people behind the scenes who returned, and like how excited they were because it felt like it sort of ended, kind of unceremoniously originally. So to get to come back and continue it, you see how excited they were and how much they just wanted to pick up right where they left off, which obviously the show's very different, but it did show that I think there's a lot of people who worked on the show to make it as good as it was, that it does make me hopeful. I am nervous, like you said, TJ, but it makes me hopeful that there's enough people who see what we have that they can just continue that ball rolling.
I love all the behind the scenes things, especially when Disney Plus does all of their making ofs and behind the scenes. I have to say I was pretty disappointed with that making of, though, only because it wasn't what I thought. It was, like you're saying, very much about the original series and what it took to bring this new show to life, not actually the show being brought to life. Like it wasn't about X-Men 97. It was about the history of X-Men 97, the original cast, the original like voice actors and the original creators coming on to help. There was very little in terms of behind the scenes of like the animation or like voicing some of the new stuff in a way, talking about the story, talking about where it went. And like, there was nothing about the story in the second season at all in the making of, and very little about the actual art too. They touched on it, but very briefly. Which is fine. It was cool, but like you're saying, Wyatt, I think it's accessible more to people who loved the original series and want it's almost like you should watch this going into 97 because it feels very spoiler free and more about like, here it comes, like this is what we're doing together.
That's true.
But yeah, Owen says he was disappointed that Bo DeMeo wasn't a part of the interviews because he was such a big role in season 1 and 2. But yeah, things happen.
Sipping on that glass of wine. Did you have to drink it like that? Did you have to put it in a wine glass? You could have put it in like.
I mean, I could have put it in a cup or something, but it's pretty good.
Would you rather him just have a bottle?
Yeah, anything other than like a fucking like
a red Solo cup.
I drink wine out of a wine glass. I mean, come on. It's the vessel
He's
that
just got one of the barrels from the winery and he just like pops it open.
Yeah, it's
from
like
a hose.
Exactly. He's got a hose that he just grabs. Man.
All right, Bill, what do you got?
Before we leave X-Men, let's just say that regardless of how season 2 is, you still have one great season, right? I mean, let's just be happy about that.
Yeah. And I love that it got pretty critical acclaim. I think it seemed to have done really, really well. And
it's the highest MCU thing ever.
Yeah.
Highest rated MCU thing ever.
Rated?
You can barely see it, but I bought a Magneto helmet because
Wyatt?
of that show. It's right there.
It's so cool.
I'll go grab it.
You can't see it good enough. You got to get it. You got to get it.
Well, we'll wait. We'll pause the live stream. We'll pause live reality.
I want one of these.
Here we go.
Oh my god,
dude!
Yes,
it fucking looks,
dude.
I don't know what you're thinking.
Leave it on. Leave it on. Otherwise, we're all.
I gotta keep my headphones on. The headphones won't fit underneath it. It's a design
missed
flaw.
Opportunities. You should have worn that the entire time that we were.
I know. I should have had it ready. Listen,
all right.
I was busy getting the theme song ready, okay?
So I'll go next. And there's a lot of stuff that was on that thumbnail, but I think I have fallen down the Xenomorph rabbit hole hard after that Romulus full-length trailer launched. Guys, I wouldn't say that I'm the biggest Aliens fan out there, but I fucking love Aliens. Like, I love all the movies. I've read comics. I fucking collect. That's like the main thing that I collect. So let's talk about Aliens. And Wyatt, I think what I'm most excited to talk about is your rewatch, and then you finished the entire series. And Ryan, have you watched as well?
I started rewatching. I have watched Alien and Aliens.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Let's fucking go. Let's go. Wyatt, go first. Go.
So yeah,
wait. Sorry. Let's talk about the Romulus trailer first.
Oh, it looks so good.
I hope you're ready, Ryan, because this shit is going to be a
dude.
horror movie.
Yeah,
Horror.
Okay, so
Horror.
before we like dig in too much into it, I'll give my take because you guys will talk about your like. I like Bill, love Alien. Bill is like way more of a fan than me. I'm not saying I'm like close to that, but I've always like liked the Alien movies, and like Bill and I always talk about like how underrated we think Prometheus is. Like, I'm excited for you guys to watch, or for Ryan for you to watch that too, or rewatch it. But yeah, I love Alien. Really, mostly all of them. But yeah, that's just my take. So I'm curious to hear what your guys' take is as well.
If we're talking Romulus first, the more recent we get with the my Alien rewatch, because I've seen all of them except for hit me.
Covenant.
Covenant. I've seen all of them except for Covenant. I'm nervous for Covenant and for Romulus because I'm not a fan of horror movies, and the originals are so old at this point now that they're easy to. Even though, man, I don't want to get into it. We'll get into the talking about those movies in a minute. But Romulus looks scary. I don't know if I'm going to see it in theaters. We'll see.
So
you have to,
Ryan. Fuck. Come on, dude. I don't ask for a lot. This is one of the things that I'm going to ask for is that we fucking go.
Yeah.
We watch a movie.
Listen, I get it. Sometimes you need comfort food.
Yeah.
There's so many shows on my to watch list.
Yeah.
But sometimes I got to put on Return of the Jedi, you know?
Yeah.
Sometimes.
But I'm
Why,
so
you
I did
excited
these
for Romulus?
I am. Yeah. It does look a little more horror leaning than the past few have been. I would say, Ryan, I would not, if you're nervous going into Romulus, but you were fine with like Prometheus, I didn't find Covenant. If you're nervous about going into Covenant, but you were fine with Prometheus, I don't think you need to be worried about
Covenant's
Covenant.
fine, dude.
Prometheus.
It was not scary to me, and I don't like horror stuff that much either. The amount of horror it seems like there's going to be in Romulus is a little concerning to me based on the trailers, but I'm super excited. It looks awesome, and just the moments of the trailer that they're kind of alluding to what's going on already kind of like make you tense and stressed out in the way that I'm sure most people felt watching the original in theaters. So yeah, I'm super excited. I think that will definitely be one that I make a trip out to the theater for.
Yeah. Owen's talking about a Avengers versus Aliens by Jonathan Hickman, who is an incredible writer. I didn't know that was a thing, and that is very exciting. Wow.
Is this a comic?
Yeah.
I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Jonathan
Might have to
Hickman.
pick up a Marvel comic.
We will be checking that out. Yeah,
That's cool.
So Romulus is directed by I forget his last name, Fede or something. He's the guy who did the Evil Dead remake from 2012, I believe. Yeah, exactly. And he also did oh my god, Don't Breathe. So Don't Breathe,
the first one,
like,
the good one.
Yeah, the first one. Don't Breathe is a phenomenal. It's so suspenseful. It is insanely suspenseful, not gory. The Evil Dead remake is insanely gory. Like, it is meant to like fuck you up in a way, like throw up. It's so gory. In this, he's just going to show what a face hugger does. It's just the natural life cycle of the xenomorph, right? And it doesn't just hug your face; it shoves a proboscis down your throat. You know what I mean? So it's not going to be fun to watch, probably. But
I love the Alien movies, but not because I've never considered them horror. And I know that like in 1979 that was considered horror, but it's even like the more recent ones like Covenant and Prometheus, like they're not scary. They're just like suspenseful and crazy and like a little unsettling. I'm hoping that Romulus, it looks scary. I want it to be terrifying. I don't think it's gonna be, and I'm fine with that. Just make a good alien movie, but my hope, just fucking scare me.
As someone who grew up watching Poltergeist, I think your definition of like horror movie is more skewed.
Yeah, Aliens doesn't.
Just
scare
saying,
it
like
never
I
has.
think they are horror movies.
Yeah.
They are like, I don't know if I'd call Alien a horror or a thriller. I get that it's a little bit more in line with a modern day thriller in terms of how stressful it is versus like gore and slasher and horror, but you know,
I think it's sci-fi first, and its subgenre is horror. Like I would say
sci-fi horror. Yeah.
But yeah, I had only seen the first one, and then Aliens years and years ago, and then I saw Prometheus in theaters, but hadn't really seen the other ones in between. Hadn't seen Covenant, and I think when we went to C2E2, Bill, you kept talking about the Romulus trailer, and so I decided to do like a full rewatch and catch up on all the ones that I hadn't. And it was just very fun to watch a franchise evolve from when the first one came out and see each one how like, oh, I can tell this was the 90s one. I can tell this is the Joss Whedon era one where it's basically Firefly, but with aliens. Yeah. Like it's cool to watch each one evolve and see like, it's almost just like watching how movies changed over time as well. Like based on the effects, based on like what sort of gimmick, I guess you could say each one has. But I really enjoyed it. I don't think I'm like a super fan right all of a sudden just from watching all of them, but I enjoyed it enough that I'm excited for Romulus. I'm excited to see what they continue to do with the franchise.
I remember liking the first one, Alien, a lot. And this rewatch, which was probably my first time rewatching in 10 plus years. And I remembered liking it more because it is that suspenseful thriller type thing of there's the one alien on the ship, you're trapped with it. What I don't remember is just how gross it is. Just like everybody is just it's dirty gross. And sweaty and dripping and just like awkward and like making weird noises and expressions. And like everybody's just like yucky, you know what I mean?
It is yucky.
It's just like this is just so late 70s, early 80s, like everything's just, and it's like, and that took me by surprise. I was like, I don't remember this being that uncomfortable because it just everything just feels gross. Like you feel like you're there and you just want everybody to just take a shower and wash their hands because it just feels like that.
Even Ash, like I remember Ash and Bishop specifically, like the androids, the way that they're robots, right? They shouldn't be gross or androids, but yet they're like milky and they have weird veins.
Yes.
And like in the third one, it's just Bishop's face and his like eyeballs popping out, and like it's just it is gross.
And it's not even just like scenes that are supposed to be gross, but them just hanging out at the table, and it's like, this is why you look like that, man.
It's a weird call out, Ryan.
I'm sorry, but it was, and otherwise, I enjoyed watching it. Like I said, I just forgot just how old they were, but they're still fun. And man, Aliens is so campy, and we'll get into more Aliens in a second, Bill. But yeah, the camp in that one was even more than I remember. Yeah.
I can't talk about Aliens without bringing up the best trailer I think I've ever seen for a movie is Prometheus. Go to YouTube and look this up if you haven't seen this. Prometheus, it has to be the full length trailer number 2 for Prometheus. Best trailer I think I've ever seen for a movie. It's so good.
Oh yeah,
it's so fucking good.
I wouldn't be surprised if that's why. I wouldn't be surprised if that's why Prometheus was one of the few that I saw that I remember seeing in theaters with friends. Is that I do remember that trailer just being like, this looks awesome, and I think it's connected to Alien, but I'm not 100% sure. It's just called Prometheus. Like I remember being really excited for it.
Yeah, Prometheus great. So the reason why Ryan watched 1 and 2 is because I was gifted.
Oh, you're going for a twofer?
Yeah, it's the same category.
Yeah. He's in the franchise,
we'll make this one quick, but it's
welcome to the Aliens podcast.
I would fucking do that today. Let's fucking start that shit. A role-playing board game called Aliens: Another Glorious Day in the Marine Corps. In the core, yeah. And it is really, really fun. I've never really picked up a board game like this by myself that you have to put together all the little pieces and the action figures, but I spent probably close to 3 hours now putting together Aliens and Marines with Ryan. And it's a lot of fun.
There's Bill. Imagine that like your favorite movie or your favorite show. Wyatt's never seen it. Wyatt just said he's going to watch it and he loved it. That feeling you have, that's like that times 10 is the feeling of Bill being obsessed with a board game. Like I've never expected this. Like he's texting me pictures of rule books, guys. Like Bill, who doesn't like rule books, is texting me pictures of rule books. And like, we're like,
TJ was over my house. Ryan, listen.
Dude, are you
TJ
showing
was over my house,
like,
and I was sitting on the couch reading it like a book. And Ryan was like, or TJ was like, you look just like fucking Ryan
No, I
sitting
said,
there. Like,
yeah.
yeah.
I said, this is the most Ryan you've ever looked in your fucking life,
Bill,
and I hate it.
welcome to my life.
Yeah.
Like the fact that you were like making minifigures off of sprues and using, cement, oh my
Yeah.
God, that's incredible. It's so
Yeah.
fun. That's awesome. I can't wait to play it again. It was very fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
So
I need you to set up cameras and film an episode like we've been doing
No.
for the Direwolf game, but it's
No.
just you playing the Alien game.
Even better,
single
Wyatt,
player, I do it.
one
Yeah.
night you should just set up the camera and just FaceTime you or whatever, and
Oh,
you
yeah.
should watch a playthrough of it.
Oh yeah.
Or you
I'm
could
down.
be a character. Like you could just tell us what to do because you can read
Yeah.
the cards and stuff like
I'm
that.
down.
Yeah.
So
I'm down.
yeah, I brought it to work, and in between customers, I played around with my coworker Amanda, and we had a lot of fun, dude. Because Ryan, the first time you and I played it, the only time you and I played it, we fucked it up. Like
So many
we were
rules.
like, wow, this was fun, but it was kind of easy, bro. I'm telling you, like there were aliens everywhere, like spawning like crazy. So
Yeah,
it was
excited to play more. Excited to paint them and everything.
Yeah.
What's going on, man? What did you miss? Let's see. The first TJ, because now
So
we've gone a full
just-
circle.
We did
Gone
a full circle. So what did I bring up? Oh, I brought
Avatar,
up
Mr. and
Avatar.
Mrs. Smith, X-Men 97, and then Alien Romulus /
Yep.
Alien board
So we
game.
talked about James Cameron's Avatar, the Angelina Jolie movie, and movie from 1979.
Goddamn, we have so much more to go. Wyatt,
I'm
hit
kidding.
it.
It was The Last Airbender live action and the Mr. and Mrs. Smith show. Oh, so
TJ,
yeah.
I think you're up.
Me?
Yeah,
Oh, is it me?
right? Yeah, because you did
Oh,
Avatar
shit,
first.
I thought you were up next.
Just
I mean,
what
I
I do
can
is
go.
just pull up Ryan with that fucking wine glass.
I'll go quickly.
It's like, is it getting bigger every time you take a drink?
I'll go quickly with one because in the same theme of Bill convincing me to go back and rewatch something. I've also caught up on Rick and Morty because Bill and TJ are both big fans of Rick and Morty, and I've watched all of it. And I fell off somewhere between Pickle Rick and the end of the season that Pickle Rick was in, and I couldn't really remember where I had fallen off. And they're all on Max now, so I've been like slowly sort of chipping my way through that. And it is also like it deserves how big it is. It deserves like the following that it has. I know it's very easy to like jump on the hate bandwagon when something becomes super popular, but I just last night finished the final season because I got about halfway through and was texting you guys about the final season, and it's so good. It has a great, obviously each episode is like a wacky premise that's some weird sci-fi premise that is ridiculous, but it has a great through line of like emotional journeys that all of the characters are on, which has
Rick
great
hates,
payoff,
and he wants to avoid at all costs.
Exactly,
because he doesn't like.
And
to
the
be
payoff
emotional.
for that comes at very like sometimes expected times, like it's a big finale, and sometimes it's the middle of a season where like I wasn't expecting us to be getting into this stuff right
Like this
after
last
just
season.
a weird, exactly.
It's
So I
perfectly-
really loved it, and it continues to take sci-fi concepts that like a normal show would go this far with, and then it's just like, what if we kept going and made it even more complex and not feel like the audience will get lost and not worry about it being too complicated, to really play around with sci-fi concepts in a way that's very complicated and that's really fun to like ponder afterwards. Like almost every episode would leave me being like, oh yeah, that is a crazy idea to think about the possibilities behind. And it's fantastic.
It's so perfectly self-aware.
Yeah.
And makes fun of itself and makes fun of other tropes and things that it should be, but it's not. And it's like, oh, it's so good. I love it.
Yeah.
Just to continue, were you expecting Story Lord to come back, Wyatt, and have like
No.
this awesome fucking story? And
No,
Jesus
that was
comes
great.
back. Like
That was so great.
and Jesus
That
gets a
was
gets
the
a
most
previously
throwaway
on.
episode where I was like, okay, we're bending the rules a little bit here. Let's move
Yeah,
on from
dude.
that. And then they bring it back and double down on it. I was like, okay, I'm along for the ride then. That's
Yeah.
fine. Yeah, it had tons of moments like that and tons of like very, heartwarming moments that made me like tear up a little bit as well. So yeah, definitely recommend if you were like me and had kind of fallen off from Rick and Morty when it was in its like, I would say like peak popularity. It's worth getting back to and making your way through, even just for like, it was just nice to have something that's like 25 minutes long to put on if I'm like, oh, I don't have a ton of time before I need to go to bed. I'll knock out one of those episodes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Lewis said that I watched Rick and Morty until the end of episodes. I love some episodes, but I didn't care for others. That's the thing that's hard. Oh yeah. About, Rick and Morty, especially like right in that season 3 to 5 era when you were waiting 2.5 years for a new season. Watching it live sucked. And then when you have 10 episodes and they're 30 minutes long and one's like not great, it makes it hard to like not rip that episode apart because you're like, what the fuck? Like, I needed a good episode. But upon rewatch, they're all like, it follows
They
the
all have
trope. Like,
things.
yeah, they all have things. Like, just like
Something.
one of the funniest moments ever that I like had to pause and I rewatched a million times was when the dinosaurs came back to Earth. And
Dude,
they were
all
like
you
this.
talked about for
They
like
were this
weeks.
Yeah, they were this highly evolved species, and then the humans didn't want them on Earth anymore. So this song played, and one of the lyrics was "Fuck off and dinosaurs." Like that play on words had me rolling forever. Fucking love Rick and Morty.
Yeah, it is great.
I will watch it eventually. The things like the really smart things that the callbacks and the really like mind bendy things are the reason that I want to watch it. I want to say almost all of season 1 and just never really felt it. The burping and the annoying things were just, it was too much. But
It goes away.
I get
It
it.
goes away real
but
quick.
I hear
Yeah.
exactly. Everybody says, "Yep, you're not wrong. Keep
Mhm.
watching," and I just haven't yet. There's just been other things, so I'll watch it eventually.
TJ,
Just
what do you
catching
got?
up
You're up
on
next,
comments. Just catching up on comments first, real quick. Yes, Antonio, there is a thing in episode 5 of X-Men 97 that feels very Invincible, and very interested to see how that is handled
Yeah.
if and when it happens in Invincible, and to see like what they do different, or if other people, if the general public,
Sure,
if the
what are you
general
talking
public
about?
feel the same way and make those connections.
Okay.
But yeah.
So Ryan went with probably, I'm guessing, his favorite thing on his list. So I'm going to go with my favorite thing on my list, which is probably my new favorite movie, The Lisan Al Gaib.
Yeah. It's for sure my movie of 2024 so far. For sure.
TJ, how many
Dune
times have you
Part
watched
2.
Dune 2?
One time, I bet. One fucking time.
Three times. I've seen it 3 times. Yeah.
Nice.
So I saw it in theaters twice, and then I just watched it on Max last Saturday, like a week ago. Yeah, dude, it's so perfect. It is so perfect. And it's funny too, because everybody that I talk to all has the same opinion. Like, you guys know that I loved the first Dune. I fucking loved it. A lot of people just thought it was okay. Everybody that I've talked to, like people at work and everybody and everything, they all say like, yeah, I liked the first Dune. It was good, but it was kind of hard to follow. It was like that Game of Thrones thing. There's a lot going on. It's tough. But part 2 brings it all together, and it like Paul Atreides is like a little annoying in the first one, and you don't know why he's like the way he is, but then in part 2 it all makes sense why he's like that. Like, just everything works. It's so fucking good. It's so good. Wyatt, I want to hear you talk about Dune 2.
You guys know that I go through phases of like just very hardcore obsession over things, and that's like all that I care about for a little while. And when Dune 2 came out, it was like the Dune obsession. Like I had to fight the urge to hit checkout on my cart that had the Lego Ornithopter that's like $300 for a good month. You know what I mean? Like, I was like, I should get it. And I still haven't, but maybe one day. But yeah, it's so good. I remember leaving Dune 2, and then I went and saw it a second time in theaters as well. And took Nicole to go watch it, even though she was just kind of like, so on the first one as well. And yeah, I remember even talking to you guys a little bit about it, that it feels like how people must have felt watching Star Wars in like the 70s, where it feels like just a new thing is being done in sci-fi, even though I know you could argue that, it's not necessarily. It is an adaptation of a book that's been around forever, but it's just so impressive. And part 2 is such a, just like, it's all filler, no killer. You know what I mean? it's the payoff of the first one, where if you look at the whole thing as one story, because it is all just the first book is all set up, and then it's just nothing but payoff in the second one, and it makes it so exciting. The scene of them like shooting the rocket launcher at the ornithopters while they're underneath
And
the like sand crawler thing has never made me want a Metal Gear Solid movie more. Like, it felt so Metal Gear. It was so cool. All of the action sequences are amazing. Yes, Owen, that's probably what I meant to say. All killer, no filler. I'm sure I mixed that up. But yeah, Dune is so awesome. I did get the book and made it like a good like 30-40 pages until my obsession focused onto something else, and I'm sure I'll get back to it eventually. But yeah, it's so good. It's fantastic.
But the thing that makes it so good is the directing. Like, just talking about, only because you brought it up, I'm going to talk about that scene. Like, them going, one leg to the other. Paul like distracting the helicopter, and then you seeing it from the helicopter's perspective, looking over there and like shooting at Paul, and then looking over here, and Zendaya is putting her rocket launcher down, like putting it down, and you don't see it fire, and then it just explodes because she already sent it, and then it just cuts to her running, and there's no music at all. It's just a wide shot of her running with no music, and then the helicopter hits the ground and goes, and then you hear the music like hit. Oh, it's so good.
I can't say that he was the only director that could have done it, but I will say he is the only director I think that could have done it the way he did. And otherwise, I feel like it would have just been another sci-fi movie.
It would have been John Carter of Mars. But
yes, and
it would
which
have
isn't
been
a bad
like
movie.
That. Exactly. Not disparaging that, but it's not Dune 2.
But because it's him. Because it's Denis Villeneuve, it brings it to a whole nother level, and it is one of those movies because of it.
Mm-hmm. He's become one of the directors that like he could announce that he is making a movie about circus clowns, and I would be like, all right, I'm in.
Killer Clowns from Outer Space reboot.
Exactly.
Wow.
Like I'm in.
Yeah, no, I've only seen it the one time. We saw it in IMAX. It was incredibly uncomfortable and a terrible experience as far as the theater going experience was. But the movie was incredible, and I can't wait to watch it again. I know it's on HBO now, and I can watch it. It's very long. It was incredible. I'm excited to watch it. Dune Imperium is an incredible board game, also by Direwolf.
Yeah.
Who does,
and during part of my Dune obsession, if anybody out there has Xbox Game Pass or Microsoft Flight Simulator, I got like heavy into the ornithopter like Dune challenges on there, where you can fly around an ornithopter, you go through canyons and stuff. So much fun. Like, it's incredible the amount of detail they put into how you can control it. You hit a button to like pull the wings back, and you go into a dive and then pop it back out just in a moment. Oh, it was super, super fun.
I know Bill wouldn't, but would either of you ever get into the MMO?
I think I'm going to do it, but I don't think I'm going to like it. I'm going to try it, though. I want to say that I at least tried it.
Is that the new game that's coming out soon?
Yeah.
That, like,
Awakening.
That's an MMO?
Yeah.
It's a survival MMO where it's like you have to craft stuff to survive. It sounds like you have to like venture out into the desert to collect resources and build up your base. Yeah. There's been a few people that got previews from Summer Games Fest that just happened, and Kind of Funny's been covering it. I think Blessing on their channel got to like go and see a little bit more in detail, and they've shown a little more gameplay footage. And it did take it, because usually MMOs for me are not really like, that's kind of usually if I hear MMO, I'm like, oh, it's probably not going to be for me then. But what I've seen of this one, it does seem like one that would be really cool to like imagine the four of us logging on to the same game, kind of like we do with Helldivers, which I'm sure we'll talk about soon, and be like, okay, we've got to go out into the desert. Nobody mess up your sand walk, because we don't want to get a worm after us.
It's funny to me, though. It's like, we're going to go out into the desert from the desert. Let's go look for that other desert. Like, where are the biomes? Like, it is one biome. Like, I'm assuming there'll be like caves and villages or towns and like,
it's desert and desert-er.
Yeah.
You know?
Lewis is bringing up, did we have Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes on
I have it on my list. I have it on my list.
That's not in the photo though.
Or Furiosa, because I haven't seen either of those movies yet. So that's just because I didn't put those in there yet.
I have many things that are not in the photo.
Yeah. I did not get a chance to make a list, so we'll get to them. Yeah, I'm just kind of going off the cuff here.
Furiosa 2, someone mentioned that in the comments as well.
Ryan, I feel like you're next because I did Rick and
Am
Morty
I?
before TJ, so you could go next.
Yeah, you are.
You got
Is it
something.
candy time? Are we talking about candy?
No,
I mean,
God.
there's been many questions about the candy in the
So,
thumbnail.
All right, so
I feel
last
like
time
you need to talk about candy.
I love candy, and last time TJ introduced me to the blue raspberry, or is it no blue raspberry lemonade Swedish fish?
Yep.
And those opened my eyes a bit. Those were really good, very good.
It's like when Paul Atreides got the blue
I was
liquid.
Exactly
I was
right.
thinking that.
Yeah.
I was thinking that.
Those were great. I kind of overdid
I
it.
drank the blood
Can't
of
eat 'em anymore.
Shai-Hulud.
But you know, lately, so when we were putting the image together, Wyatt's like, all right, what candy are you into? What's the new one? And it's kind of a new one, old one. I love Albanese. Albanese are some of my favorite gummies. Chris Wise, if you're in the chat, we got to talk. Let me know what happened. So because Chris was asking about this, I love the Albanese gummies. The basic gummy bears by them are incredible. They're very good. But then I found the sour ones, which, as you guys know, the sour Albanese are the best sour gummies, I think. Their sour worms or their regular worms are just fine. But lately, I've been really into their sour worms, not the regular worms, the sour worms by Albanese, and they're very, very good. Dude, here we go.
Yeah,
See,
Chris is backing you up. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. They did.
So
Did
I
you try
love
the bears too, though, Chris? Go ahead, TJ.
I prefer sour candy over regular candy. I know you disagree, but when it comes to the Albanese, I like the regular gummy bears more than the
They're
sour.
good. No, that's fine. They're good. I love how sour the ones are. Like, it's not like Sour Patch Kids or whatever, where the sour goes away and then they're sweet or whatever. These are sour the entire time, even after the sugary coating or whatever disappears, the citric acid or whatever awful thing it is. They're so good, and the gummy worms are the same way. They're like Trolli, but with real flavor. But yeah, they're not too much to make your tongue raw. Yeah, totally. So that was my latest candy thought. Chris liked the worms better than the bears. All good. But Chris then asked me, hey, what about this other thing? And I'm like, oh, I will need to try that. So I got a bag of them, and I'm going to try it live right now. So talk about something else. I need to go get them.
Very exciting.
Is it my turn?
Yeah, it's your turn, Bill. What do you want to talk about?
So I'm gonna do a twofer. Just because someone in the chat, Lewis wanted my thoughts on Paddington 3 because the Paddington 3 trailer, Paddington in Peru, came out a couple days ago.
I was so sure because he also mentioned the Apes movie and Furiosa. I was like, I'm so sure that's what you're going to talk about. But no, you're going to talk about
that is the twofer. It's because he mentioned that in one comment and then another in another comment.
So it's a threefer.
It's a threefer. But I'll go quick. Paddington in Peru, they recast the mom. She didn't want to come back. It's a new director. So those two things alone have me kind of worried. However, the trailer looks tonally like Paddington 1 and 2, which makes me
What are you talking about, Paddington?
You're talking about fucking gummy worms, bro.
I know.
Relax.
This is the other
That's
stuff.
not what I expected. First thing, alien, face huggers. Get into it. Next thing, Paddington.
Yeah.
When we
So
say
Bill,
the other stuff,
Bill
we
likes
don't
things on a
discriminate
wide
against-
spectrum. He
I
can't.
do.
be
We all
pigeonholed.
do. It's all good.
Yeah, I like everything as long as it's good. So Paddington in Peru looks like it's going to be. It looks like they're doing a valiant effort to capture the magic of the first two. So I'm excited to see what they do, and I really like who's playing the mom, even though she's recast. So we'll see. I'm holding my my expectations are kind of low on it.
When is the new one coming out?
This November, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I got time to watch the first and second because I'll watch.
Oh my
them for you,
god!
though. I
How
will
haven't
watch
you
them.
watched the
By
first
the
two?
next-
I haven't
See,
watched.
we need to start this. This is the first, and we should actually do it. I will watch Paddington 1 and 2. Bill, that is my homework for the next other stuff show. Bill,
Yeah, I like this.
you've
I
got
think
some
we should
homework.
all make a deal that we pick one thing from the other people's
That's
stuff that we
good.
need to
Oh, so we
watch.
each
Wait,
have three
by
things.
by the end of the year, since we do this about every 6
I like
months,
this.
that we each pick one thing that was recommended by other people.
It is the only way I will finish something.
I like.
And I will do it.
I think including the chat. We can include the chat as well if they're
So,
talking about stuff and they bring.
This is about to be a big moment for me because if you're telling me that I can tell that I have the power to tell Bill to watch something and he has to watch it.
I like.
I
it.
already
He
know
still
what it's
gets to
going to
pick.
be.
He still gets
I
to
already
pick.
know what
You
it's
don't.
going to be.
You can't. I know he's seen it multiple times, but this is an opportunity to be like, Bill, you have to watch 8 seasons of Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Nope.
It has to be.
I've watched all of Buffy,
Yeah.
for Christ's
I
sake.
said that. I'm just saying that as
Okay.
an example. You can't drop something that big
Yeah.
on us.
I already know what it is.
Owen just said that Paddington comes out in January.
Oh
Why
wow.
the fuck would they
Ooh.
release a trail? That can't be right.
I
Could
do.
have got delayed.
I do like this though. So let's think about it. I feel like I got to start writing things down. But
Can
we
I
can tell
are
each
we-
person one thing.
Can I have Bills? Oh wait,
No,
I have
no,
to tell
no.
each of you one
No.
thing.
We
No,
each
no.
have
Just at the
something.
end, as we're wrapping up, each one of
Oh.
us makes a claim and said, before the next other stuff show, I will watch X that was recommended that I
you're
haven't seen yet.
So
You
you're
know what
only
I mean?
saying one thing. January 17th.
What?
Wyatt, I was saying one thing from each other person. So we each
Oh.
have 3 things.
I mean, we could
It's
do
6
that.
months.
That's fair. That's
I
fair.
just need to keep track of what everybody recommended then.
Yes,
I
we'll
don't,
write it down.
how much time do we want to spend on Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes and Furiosa? Do we want to
I
do it
haven't
quick
seen
because
it
Well,
yet.
Wyatt hasn't seen
We
them?
can jumble them together. We can put them together.
Well, I mean,
Kingdom.
hold on. We'll get back to that in a second. You're done with Paddington? Mitch is here now. So
No, yeah.
you missed out on all the important Paddington talk. But now he's here for the most important part, which is recommended by Chris Wise. I'm going to
okay.
try the Reese's dipped animal crackers.
Ooh,
Oh yeah, we have those at work. People eat
Bill?
them all the time.
Those
I
sound
should have
delicious.
asked you before
I
wait,
have,
wait,
I
don't tell
have had
Bill.
like
Don't tell
one of
Bill.
them.
Bill, if there's a song that we have sung, a little jingle that we came up with.
Animal crackers.
Okay, yeah.
Animal
So
crackers.
I like
yeah.
animal crackers.
And the pickles.
Yeah, But Chris told me to try.
It's a part of the song, right?
That's the whole
No.
song, Ryan.
Chris told me to try Reese's dipped animal crackers, so I'm gonna try these.
Live on the show?
Yeah, I haven't tried them yet.
Wow.
While
Chris?
he's
If they're
trying
not
them,
good, you
I
have
do
to
want to
be
say,
honest.
I remember
not my
thinking,
favorite
do we
Reese's.
have enough
Oh,
stuff
Mitch
to
is
talk
saying no.
about for the other stuff show? And now I realize we could have
It's
3
gonna be a
things to
long-
talk
it's gonna
about,
be a long
and we'll
show.
fill up to
All
it.
right, so
that
so
animal?
what do we got?
That's a hippo.
Pikachu. What is this, Chris? What is this?
What does the other side
Is
look
that
like?
an
Do we have
elephant?
more
I think
detail
that's an
on the other
elephant.
side? No,
It's an elephant. Can you scrape off with your bottom teeth?
Mitch
No.
is requesting that you munch
No,
right into the mic, please.
It's pretty much just a blob.
Okay, the rest of us have to be quiet so we can get some ASMR chewing sounds.
Oh, surprisingly crunchy. Yeah.
I'm uncomfortable with this whole situation here.
Okay.
We need a rating out of 10.
Okay. Definitely
Amanda,
has
how
that-
have you tried these? And I've never even heard of these things before.
Can
I
I
just
say
heard about
before you give your, like, Ryan and I are similar when it comes to types of candy, and we like to be a little, we're like, you know, a little fruity, you know, me more than most, but but we
Good
like the
job,
fruity
Ryan.
kinds, okay? So I mean, Ryan, you like chocolate. I don't like chocolate at all. I don't mind Reese's because they're not like too chocolatey, but yeah, I feel like you're more of the sweeter kind. But what do you think?
I'm not the biggest Reese's fan. So
is
if
good-
Reese's are like different, if there's something different about them, I like them more than just regular Reese's.
I hate this.
So these
I
are
fucking
like
hate this.
Reese's with like a crunch. So I dig them. So far, the first bite I dig. They could have been like Reese's cookie or something. I don't know if I got the animal cracker thing. Maybe that was an animal I've never seen before. But it was fine. I thought it was good. I'm probably gonna sit here and keep eating them. It's also getting really hot. I'm gonna have to stick them back in the fridge. But yeah, solid. I'll go for more.
Nice.
I'll go for more.
Ryan,
Kate's got 2
the
bags.
way you review candy is just uncanny to me. Uncanny. It's uncanny.
I feel like he
can't
puts
believe-
as much thought and like care into that as he would talking about the season finale of Invincible, you know? And I
Okay,
appreciate
so here
that.
we go. This,
Alligator.
however,
Alligator.
wait,
That
Wait,
is a
that's a
capybara.
lion.
Lion. Let's
That's
go.
a-
Lion.
it's a sea lion or
It's a
lion?
sheep.
It's just
It's
a
a
lion.
sheep. It's
Oh,
a
it's a
sheep.
sheep.
No, look at the fucking mane, TJ. It's a fucking. Now, can you scrape it on your bottom teeth and see what it is?
What are you saying? Scrape it. What does
You
that
only
do?
scrape things. It's like the Oreo. You scrape it on your bottom teeth. Has no one
It's-
fucking done the scrape? You
it's
know
hard.
what?
It's a
I'm going to
cookie.
do the candy reviews from now on. Everything gets a bottom tooth scrape. It's part of the review process.
Bring up the next topic.
So we can talk about
Um,
Furiosa and
I think-
Kingdom, right?
Yeah.
And Kingdom, yeah.
Yeah. So Kingdom and
We'll
Planet of
start
the
with
Apes, I'll go
Kingdom.
really quick. I thought that the first three I fucking love. I think War of the Planet of the Apes is one of the best movies ever. Dawn is very good. It's not saying that any of them are bad, but that's my opinion. Kingdom was fucking great. I saw it 2 times in 2 weeks, only because my other friend wanted to go see it. And I'm like, fuck it, I'll go see it again. Pacing issues in the middle weren't as bad the second time around, but honestly, like, I cannot fucking wait to see what else they do. The characters were amazing. The action was better than any of the other movies, Wyatt. Like, legit.
Nice.
I thought that it was fun. Oh, and it was funny. Like, it actually had some levity
Nice.
in it, which they wanted to add. But the director was like, "Whoa, studio, it's not that kind of franchise. I'll put a little bit in there, but it's not going to be what it is." And he did a great fucking job. He's the guy who did Maze Runner.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Well, and I'm very excited because he is next. He's going to be doing the live action Legend of Zelda movie, which I'm terrified for. And the fact that this movie got good reviews and a lot of people came out of this movie being like, I can see his take on Zelda maybe working out. I still have no idea how a live action Zelda works. But I'm more hopeful than I was before after seeing the reception to
He's
that
not going to
movie.
have any dialogue. He's just going to ha, ha, yeah.
As it should be, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. What about Furiosa? What do you think of Furiosa?
Well, TJ, do you want to talk about Kingdom at all?
For Kingdom, like I agree with you. Like, I like Dawn and then War, and then this is where I kind of get caught up because I mean the first, like, Rise of the Planet of the Apes is like the first one, and it's like what I fell in love with, like him in love, no, like that big moment. But it's close to Kingdom, and I like going into it. I told you guys I was like, "There's no way it can even come close to any of the original 3," and I think it does. And I think that in itself is awesome. Like I love that it even could even compare to Rise. So yeah, I don't know. I can't even choose between the two, but that's a good
the
thing.
night we left it, I actually thought, you know what? This might be in contention for the third best of the 4. Like, it is right in there. It could be.
Right.
And that's an argument to be made. And I think that is fair.
Mm-hmm.
After thinking on it some more, I'm like, no, it's not. It's definitely the 4th out of the 4, but it is a conversation. Like, it fits right in. It doesn't feel like, oh, there's the original trilogy and then this one. It actually fits as far as quality goes right in with those. And it was awesome. Awesome.
Yeah.
Loved it.
I think someone wanted us, I think Lewis wanted to rank them really quick. So again, I don't think you can. I think that it's completely subjective on all of them. But I think when you're ranking them, it's not like one's here and then one's here and then one's all the way down here. They're literally like,
it's
they're
the
like
most
this.
consistent 4 movie, like 3 movie, anything, trilogy or whatever I have ever seen. I think like they're all at the same level.
Yeah, there are moments.
It's just preference.
So the moment in the first one, Caesar screaming no, really, that part is perfect. Also, Caesar, James Franco's character going to get Caesar out and Caesar closing the cage. Like, these are moments that you remember, right? And obviously, anything Koba did, the part where Koba takes the gun for the first time, monumental moment, right? Also, Maurice saying "run" to the humans, and then obviously in War, I would say the ending with Donkey, where Donkey like shoots a grenade. Do you remember this part? And it's that fucking sad music, and you see him get shot.
Yeah.
So all of them had that moment, and then Kingdom had, I think, a moment that
Mitch. That's correct.
Saw them all for the first time this year. 2 was my favorite. Not wrong. Again, not wrong at all.
Yeah. And that means something because Bill will tell you if it's not, if you have a different opinion.
Yeah.
That you are
absolutely.
Wrong.
Yeah. Not wrong. Kingdom has a part like that defines the movie that is maybe better than all of those moments, which I don't know if you agree with me or not. I don't want to spoil it, but there's a moment probably within the first 20 to 30 minutes of the movie where Noah, the new character, like is very sad about something, and it's fucking incredible.
That makes me more excited. That makes me more excited. I'm very excited.
Why? You'll love it. Furiosa, I won't go first on this one. TJ, you can go first since you fucking loved it. You sucked. It's
so Bill absolutely despised this movie. He has talked.
How much do I love Mad Max Fury Road?
He
How
has
much do I love-
talked. He has talked shit about this movie. He claims that he likes it, but I haven't heard him say a good word about Furiosa since we left it because he has to compare it to Mad Max, Fury Road.
It's a fucking prequel. It's a Mad Max
For
saga.
sure. No, but the problem is that Mad Max, that Fury Road was a particular type of movie where it was like, it was meant to be like, what makes Fury Road so good is that it's just action without, you can't breathe from beginning to end. And that's what Fury Road was. Furiosa wasn't that. And I don't think it was meant to be that, but you went into Furiosa expecting that, not being able to breathe throughout the whole movie.
If Furiosa had a tone and pace like Paddington, I would have liked it more.
Furiosa, see, you hated it. Say you hated it.
I didn't hate it, but I didn't love it. I think there's a reason why it bombed at the box office. That's all I'm going to say.
It didn't.
Reason why the
it
first
just
one
didn't make what they were expecting.
It bombed.
It didn't bomb. It came out on Memorial Day and it didn't meet Memorial Day numbers. That's what it was. Anyways, Furiosa I thought was great. I don't like Chris Hemsworth. I really don't. I don't care for him as Thor. I don't like. I mean, he was okay in Cabin in the Woods, I guess. I don't know. People don't talk about that one though. He was incredible in this movie. Mm-hmm. Fucking incredible.
Really?
I liked her story. I liked the whole beginning. Like, Ryan, I know you haven't seen it. I won't spoil too much, but basically you don't even see, what's her name? Who plays Furiosa? You don't see her until halfway through the movie. She's a little girl for half of them. I love that. Like, it's not just a linear story, and the story was not something where like okay, like I know where this is going. I know where this is going to end up. Let's enjoy the ride until we get there. It wasn't like that. It was, I don't know what's going to happen next. It was legitimately that. Like, I thought it was great. I very much liked it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Is that it, Ryan? Have you not seen Furiosa either?
Not yet. No. I'll probably just wait. I don't know if I'm
Mad Max. Here's what I'll say. Mad Max is one of my favorite movies of all time. I quote the fuck out of it. Witness Me, mediocre. Like, he was scanning the horizon. Like, I can't stop quoting it. Furiosa just wasn't. It didn't feel iconic to me. It didn't feel like it did. The lore is good. I don't think. And just wait. Like, if you haven't seen it in theaters,
so much to it.
Wait until it comes out. Definitely see it.
Oh,
definitely see it.
I want to see it.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of time, and by the time I go to see it,
I don't know. It just didn't do it for me. It didn't feel right. It didn't feel like it was even in the same world as Mad Max. Mad Max felt almost alien because you were thrown in it, and they were saying things that you didn't understand. And then after the second rewatch, you're like, I just fucking get it. This one just, I don't know. I can't put my finger on it, but I didn't love it, and that's what I'll say.
Okay.
I can take it to. I think technically TJ's up. You were just talking about Furiosa. If you have another one, TJ, you could add another one.
I'll throw one in there that I don't think you guys have seen.
Yeah, especially since you got a list. You take one, TJ.
I watched 3 Body Problem. The first season came out on Netflix.
I've been meaning to watch that since you mentioned it, so I'm excited to hear your thoughts.
I'll definitely watch the first 3.
Yeah, there you go. That might be all you need, to get hooked anyways. But it was very good, very smart. It's it's basically kind of an alien invasion type thing, but it's got a lot of science in it, and it's just very smart. I'll say, like, the first 2 episodes, there's like one thing that I didn't care for, because there are things that you just don't understand. But once they're explained, you're like, oh, that makes a lot of sense. And then you're in. It was very, very smart. It did get approved for more seasons. So can't wait for that. It was awesome. It's got what's his name? Jon Snow's like best friend.
Yeah, the guy that became like a scribe or something like that.
No,
what was his name?
I think
Sam.
Yeah,
the bigger guy. The bigger guy. It was a bigger guy.
Oh yeah.
Wong in the MCU. Is that his name?
Oh yeah.
Yep.
He's in it. Doctor Strange's
and also the one guy, the other guy from Game of Thrones, because it was created by the creators of Game of Thrones, right? Samwell. There's a guy. The one guy that he was like the bodyguard to someone, wasn't he? The older guy. He was in the Dracula movie. What's that with the ship? The Last Voyage of the
Demeter?
Oh, Demeter.
I know
Oh,
you're
yeah,
talking
Demeter.
about. Yeah.
Did that movie
Good
come
movie.
out?
Good.
Yeah.
Good movie.
I remember seeing trailers and I've never heard or
Bro,
seen
listen,
it.
really quick. Just like if you like the first Alien, it's literally
that
the
kind of
first
movie.
Alien on
Yeah.
a boat.
It looks like on
with a
a
vampire.
It's
Yeah.
fucking awesome.
Nice.
It's
I
very
get it.
good.
So TJ, did you like Three Body Problem? Would you recommend it?
Absolutely. You had. I could see it becoming like a big thing. Like I don't think it's going to be like Game of Thrones, but it was. But I think it's going to. I think it's
Okay.
going to be a thing.
I hear about
Like
it.
It was
It's on
number
my
one
list.
on Netflix for like
Yeah.
2 months.
Yeah. I
Did it
remember
get
hearing a
picked
lot
up
about it.
though? Did it get picked up for a second season?
Yeah.
It did. Okay, I'll watch it then.
I'm
'Cause I
gonna
was
say
hearing a
that's
lot
gonna
of,
be
like-
that's gonna be one of mine that I commit to before the next other stuff show, because I have been meaning to watch it and I keep
So
forgetting.
we get to pick what
that's
other
not-
people
Are you allowed to do that? Or
I
do
mean,
we
I
have
don't
to
know.
tell
I'm
you
just
what to
saying
watch?
I'd
No.
like to do that
No,
one.
you don't
We
get to
haven't
pick.
made up the rules.
Look
You
at
don't
TJ.
get to
She's
pick.
like, fuck that,
Wyatt-
Wyatt. Nope.
Wyatt will have watched everything he needs to in the matter of a week, and it'll be like,
That's
guys,
true.
what's going
That's
on?
true. I'll
I
have
don't know
a
how
week
he
off
does
of
it.
school. I mean, I'm on summer vacation right now because I'm a
Yeah.
teacher, so I'm on break.
But
So I
even
have
still,
much more
Wyatt,
time right now.
You write music, you play every fucking video game that comes out. You're a good dad. You go out on date nights with your wife. You fucking watch. Like, how do you
Keep
do
going.
it?
I feel great. You said all these things.
You
about me.
fucking
This is
buy
just
all
the
these
Compliment
helmets and
Wyatt
wear
show
them.
now.
You do costume parties.
I don't
Unreal.
remember doing a costume.
Oh,
party, but
Antonio missed
I
it. Yeah,
appreciate
we Antonio Wyatt had bought the Magneto helmet from '97 and was
Oh, yeah.
wearing it.
It's still
Uh,
here. I just can't fit it over the
Hey,
headphones. Yoshi's here.
Yoshi's here.
Yoshi. I'm
Hey.
Yoshi. Who casted? Who's the
Oh
wrong
no,
person? Who is it? Does someone know? Does anyone know?
What did it say? They cast the new voice of what?
The new animated Batman?
the new
Batman?
Batman
And it's
I don't
the
think
wrong
I've seen. I
person.
knew there was a new trailer for something.
Is
Yeah.
this
I didn't
the
know that.
one? The creators of Batman the animated series are doing a new Batman
Tim.
show,
Yeah, Bruce. It's
Um,
Bruce Timm, I think.
and
right?
the other creator too. Yep.
Yeah.
So I wonder if that's what it
Hamish
is.
Linklater. I certainly don't
Hmm.
like his name. That's too hard to say. Hamish?
Hamish.
Interesting.
Linklater? Is he in something?
Caped Crusader. Yeah, Batman Caped Crusader.
Somebody said something
Is that what you're
about
saying?
From Midnight Mass.
Oh, that's the fucking. That's the
Oh yeah,
the priest
he's the
guy.
priest from Midnight Mass.
He's amazing, but he is not a Batman.
Yeah, that'll be an interesting
You
take.
you never know.
He's great.
We'll see.
He's great.
Yeah,
Midnight Mass
I don't hate
is-
that, but I'll wait and see. Who
Yeah.
knows?
We'll see.
A show that I know that we all, I believe, watched all of was Fallout, which I think is
Oh my
one
God,
of the
Fallout
best video game to live action adaptations that we've ever gotten. Not just because, like, obviously, I think a lot of people give that title to Last of Us because it was very emotional, but Last of Us, while it didn't follow the game perfectly, like, I think we all kind of knew, okay, if they just do The Last of Us, it'll be great. When they announced a Fallout show, I remember being like, all right, is that going to be really bad or is it going to be like kind of okay? I never expected it to be as great as it was. Having Walton Goggins just throughout be such an incredible, like, both in the flashbacks that you see him in and then in the more like modern stuff going on. I can't wait to see that show continue. I'm so glad it was as successful, or seems as successful as it was, and how much it made me want to play Bethesda games again. Like I booted up Starfield for a while after it and like jumped back into it because I had never finished that game either, just because it reminded me of like getting sidetracked on a side quest and some random thing and like having those interweaving storylines. It's so good. It was, I was very, very impressed by it.
Yeah. Fallout was frustratingly particular with everything that was in that show. Like the hacking screen on the computer, stim packs, like just all the little things in that show made it like you couldn't. It was Fallout 5. It, for all intents and purposes.
Yeah.
It really was.
And it felt like a video game in all the right ways. Especially the finale. I mean, the finale felt like the end of the video game. You reach the end, the reveals that you get, the boss fight at the end. It all felt so right, and I loved it. It was so good.
Oh my god, the reveal at the end.
Yeah,
Come
man.
on.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah, I'm very excited. I'm so excited that it had such good success, and they're making more.
Agreed. It was awesome.
There's a handful of things. First, I wanted to bring this up. Antonio said that the quote from the Tim is
Here's
that
Tim.
they auditioned a lot of great Batmans, but only one good Bruce Wayne, which was Hamish. So I guess
Oh, good point.
that explains that a little bit.
Interesting.
Wow.
Interesting.
And yeah, it does suck that they released Fallout all at once, because that could have had a lot of fun discussion online and discourse as each episode was released. I am surprised they did that. I can't keep up with Amazon. It seems like they'll sometimes do 2 episodes or 3 or the entire season, or now we're going week to week. Like,
Yeah.
it seems like they were trying just, we're going to do, for a while, like Invincible and Boys and everything, like, we're going to do 3 episodes at launch, and then week to week after that. But then for a while they stopped, and then they were doing all at once, and now it makes sense. It depends per show, but I don't know.
I think that's true for almost every streaming service too, and it's so frustrating that like even Disney Plus will sometimes be like, oh, some of these episodes are going to premiere at 6 p.m. the night before, and then other ones are going to be at midnight. Like it's super frustrating. I kind of just want all streaming services to just commit to one or the other. I really enjoy the weekly release, and I enjoy having it at like a normal time throughout the night, so you can see it and then not have to worry about like being spoiled if you're on Twitter while you're at work the next day. Hopefully Amazon kind of
here's my prediction. I think that because it's a new IP in that like a TV show,
Season 2 will not.
Season 2 will not be all dropped. I think the reason why they do that is because they don't know how people are going to react to the first episode, so they want to give people an opportunity to like get hooked. But now that people are fucking hooked, they're going to go week to week. 100%. Invincible did the same thing. Invincible dropped the first 3, and then season 2, it was like, fuck you guys, we know that you're excited, week to week the whole time.
But at the same time, Boys has done the first 3 every single season, and they know the Boys is big at this point. They still, but even this newest season, they dropped the first 3 all at once and are now doing weekly. Like it's very inconsistent. I hope you're right, because I do think that they should just do it week to week.
So you mentioned it. I don't know if it's my turn or not, but do you want to mention the Boys?
Yeah,
I'm all caught up. Except for I think there was a new episode yesterday or last night.
I'm caught up except for that one.
Same. Why did you watch that one?
I watched the new one. Yeah.
Okay.
Has anyone here read all of the Boys?
No.
Okay.
All I've heard is that the comics are not great, and that if you enjoy the show, it doesn't mean you're going to enjoy the comics. I've heard that the comics are very 90s edgelord, like very like trying to be edgy for edgy's sake type of stuff, which the show kind of does a little bit, but so I've never really dipped my toe into the comics.
I've tried it like 2 or 3 times in my life and never get more than a couple issues in. You can have this. Bill, if you want. I just can't get into it. I just can't. For the same reason you just said, Wyatt.
So before we delve into this, just know I have not finished, and I don't care about spoilers. Season 2, I just don't like it.
Season 2,
3.
Yeah, I couldn't get. What season are we on?
4.
I think this is 4.
I watched like part of season 2, and that's it.
So we'll give our impressions.
I am enjoying it still. I really wish that this was the last season, and they've announced that the next season 5 is going to be the last one. I kind of wish this one was the last one, just because it does feel like we're sort of I feel like we all know what the end of the show has to be. Like Homelander can't still be around at the end of the show, or he can, but that's like the conflict of the show. And it feels like we're sort of just treading water until we get to whatever the end of the show is going to be, sort of. That said, each episode, there is still a moment where they have some sort of social commentary about our current like political situation in our country. And that makes me just like put my head in my hands and be like, man, the world is so messed up. And not even the show's world, but our world, that like we have this parody of everything going on. And also like, I've said before that I sort of am surprised that Invincible became such a big part of my life, seeing as how I don't necessarily love gore that much. And The Boys is like gory sort of just for gory's sake, or gory for comedic sake a lot of the times. And there are certain moments in the show where like I'm not one to typically be like, all right, I'm just going to wait until I stop hearing the sounds I'm hearing and then I'll look back again. There's a moment in the most recent episode that you guys haven't seen yet that is the only part of the show that I can say that I did not watch any of it because I was just like,
Oh my
I know
God.
what they're doing here, and I'm just not gonna watch. And it may be just a personal thing that I really
I'm
did
the same
not
as
like,
you, man. I'm the
but
same. So I don't know.
I'm reaching the point where I'm like, you're not giving me enough that gets me excited to get through these parts that I'm excited for, that I kind of just wish we would be getting to the end quicker. That said, I'm excited to watch it each time a new episode is out. I'm gonna stick with it through this season and see how it goes.
Yeah.
But was wishing we're getting to the end sooner.
So coming off of the last season, which I thought was great, and then going into Gen V, which was phenomenal.
Gen V was the best season of The Boys.
Yeah. So, and then leading into this, like I didn't read the article, but I saw an article that had the perfect title that like summed up The Boys like this season's perfectly so far. And it's The Boys has become everything that it has parodied. It has become those things. And I totally see that. Like, I think it's just okay. Do you need somebody from the community, from my community, to say it? Because I'll say it. Where the fuck did that Frenchie shit come from? Where did that come from? Like, it came out of nowhere. It felt so woke to me. Like, hey, you're gonna throw some gay shit in there? Cool. Like, I'm all for that. Like, more the better. But it just like popped up and it was just there. And it was just like, oh, all right. So I don't know. I felt like they threw that in there to try to be a little diverse. And everything that they're making fun of, like that they would make fun of, that they would parody in the first few seasons, has kind of gone the opposite direction. They've always like parodied the like woke nation, but now it's like in the most recent episode, the ice skating stuff, like the musical, and we can't say the word Christmas anymore. I feel like that's going more in the opposite direction of what they've parodied.
I think it's just being a little bit more overt. You know what I mean?
I feel like
instead of being like, hey, they're subtly making fun of you, now it's like, yeah, guys, this is about that shit. Like,
but I feel like they've always made fun of woke nation, which I think is great, but now they're making fun of the opposite, and they're the ones that are becoming woke. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I think it's decent. I think it's painfully obvious. If like I haven't read the comics, so I have no idea where it's going to go, but I think it's painfully obvious how Homelander's going to die if he dies, and I hope to God that I'm wrong, but I think it's becoming pretty obvious. Just don't let it be that, if you're going to be that obvious with it. So
yeah. I don't know. I'm kind of like where you're at, Wyatt, where it's fine. I'm enjoying it. I kind of feel like I'm enjoying it the same way I enjoy like Grand Theft Auto 5 when it was out. You know what I mean? I enjoy the parody. I enjoy how they're poking fun at, silly things that are in the real world that are not silly, but, they just make you roll your eyes, and it is what it is. But yeah, and I agree with the gore. Sometimes it's a bit too heavy-handed, and I'm a little nervous for this next episode now. We'll see.
Again, I think the gory part in the most recent episode is just a very me thing that I was not enjoying some of the the gore in that one. But yeah, other shows that are currently happening, since we're talking about The Boys. Anybody watching Hot D, as it's called, or House of the Dragon?
So I'm going to let a couple episodes build up before I get into it. I cannot wait, but I'm trying to show restraint because that's something that I do like to binge a little bit.
Yeah, I could see that. That probably would benefit from that because it's just the first episode that's out so far. I really enjoyed it. The premiere didn't like blow me away, but it did remind me that like, oh yeah, I remember all of these characters. I'm interested in where this story is going. I'm excited to see what they do with this second season for sure.
Does previous Leon make an appearance? Wyatt?
I don't think he does. I mean,
they don't do
a previously.
That's what I mean. Yeah, they do a previously on. Okay, all right, good.
Yes,
I loved. I didn't love. I really liked House of the Dragon. I feel like it took a while for me to even know. Dude, it takes.
You haven't seen it yet, Ryan?
The last episode is when you're like, oh, this is what the show's about. Like, it literally is like, what the fuck is this show about?
How did you get that far?
Yes, and no.
It's you,
bro. I had a large support group.
Ryan,
of people
Bill
that
thinks
were
there's
like,
only 3 episodes. He stopped at the 3rd episode.
Oh, so what you're saying is the 3rd episode, I find out what the show is actually about.
Hey man,
Okay.
it was like, I know that I watched about 3 hours of it. So no, I watched all of it. And it was the last episode, you're like, oh, okay, now I understand. Like, if people have read the books and kind of know the lore way more than I do, that you probably knew, but I'm excited to finally get into, like, I feel like if House of the Dragon was Dune 1, season 1, then I'm assuming this is gonna be like Dune 2, where it's like,
Wow.
oh fuck. Now
Alright.
shit hit the fan.
Yeah, it's definitely like things are now escalating more from this first episode at least.
Mhm.
But they do a lot of interesting things that not only, like, I remember when they announced House of the Dragon and I had such a sort of bitter taste in my mouth from the end of Game of Thrones because I really didn't like the last season, that I remember being like, I don't want this. Who wants this? It's going to be lesser than, nothing's going to reach the peak of Game of Thrones. And within like the first episode of House of the Dragon, I remember feeling like, man, I haven't felt like this since like season 6
Yeah,
of Game
season,
of Thrones.
yeah,
Like,
dude.
it brought back that feeling, and I was immediately like, I'm in. Like, I'm ready to see
Yeah.
where this goes. So,
And the
yeah,
cool thing,
Ryan,
too-
I think you'd like it. I think you'd like it a
Ryan,
lot.
the cool thing too about House of Dragon is that it has like really big time jumps. Like, one episode is
I
like
do know
here,
that. I have heard
and
that.
then like 10 years later is the next episode, and then
It's a little
like, so
confusing.
it's like,
It's a little
it's-
much.
it
at
can be.
times, but
It can
it's
be.
yeah,
at
but
first,
it makes it feel broader and like bigger than like Game of
What it
Thrones.
is the
like,
difference
moment to moment.
in the actors and actresses. That's
Yeah.
what kind of throws you off. Where it's like, oh shit, like
Take advantage of that Amazon X-ray or whatever, or HBO
Yeah,
like kind of thing.
yeah.
Do they?
But
does
they
HBO have
cast
that?
those. They cast
think
all
so.
the actors were amazing. The younger versions of them,
Oh,
and
yeah.
then they were
Yeah,
fucking
they were very
spot on.
good.
I was like, holy shit! Did they just like do deep fake and like age them up or something? That's crazy.
Yeah, I agree.
Cool.
go
I'll take one.
for it.
I don't know if I have it. I'm pretty sure this is the only thing that we had on both images. So the first
Yes.
other stuff show and this other stuff show
Please,
both
please.
featured Scavenger's Reign.
Ah, fuck, is
Oh,
that right?
I
thought you were gonna
I
say.
thought it was the thing that we had on both was Mr. and Mrs. Smith.
No.
No, yeah,
Okay.
because
That
Mr.
was
and
out.
Mrs. Smith didn't come out till
DJ,
February.
Mr. and Mrs. Smith thing.
Yeah, I put
I
Scavenger's
thought it
Reign
was.
on
I
this
thought
one
we talked
again.
about it.
It was originally on because only I had seen Scavenger's Reign, and that was one of the
Yeah.
shows I was telling you guys to watch, along with like Blue
And
Eye
all we
Samurai
wanted to
and
talk about
everything.
was Blue Eyed Samurai.
But
God
yeah,
damn.
and we did also have Void Rivals and Radiant Black on both of them.
Oh, true.
Chris
Okay.
pointed out those ones. In terms of shows, not comics, Scavenger's Reign is the only one that we had on there twice, and that's because Ryan, you started watching.
I
it.
watched
Is it
it.
moved over to Netflix?
I did too.
Which,
I did too.
to set that up, it I believe HBO decided like we're not going to pick it up for another season, and then Netflix bought the rights to it, and the rumors are that Netflix is like waiting to see how this season does as they add it to Netflix to decide if they're giving it more. So if you're
So
out there and
watch
have
it
not
on
watched
Netflix.
Scavenger's Reign, please
Wait,
watch
watch
it
it
on
on
Netflix,
Netflix,
Well,
so
not
that we
on
can
HBO.
get, because I don't
Bill.
think it's on HBO anymore. I think it's
You
only on
watch-
Netflix.
It's still on
it?
HBO.
Or
It's
you
on HBO.
watched it.
How weird.
3 episodes.
I
Watched
watched
it.
it.
How many?
I
Did you
watched.
finish it?
I think I watched it.
Okay.
Bill.
So 4 episodes.
Yeah, but
For
again,
people
it's
that
just
are
like,
listening audio,
shit
if 4
happens.
episodes,
Like, guys, if I'm watching
get it.
episode 4 and then all of a sudden I think about Soul Reaver and I have to bust out my PS1 and play that game again, like that
I get it.
happens to me.
I
You know what
get
I
it.
mean? Like,
I get it.
Somebody
can't
says the word
fucking-
xenomorph near you, and then you're like, oh no.
I gotta
Oh
go.
no! I gotta start
go.
from the first one.
so I am currently watching it. I'm
Oh, okay.
I think 6 episodes in. What is there? 10, 8 or 10 total?
This is it. 12. I think it's like 12.
Oh wow. Okay.
Oh my
So
god.
so
Think so?
it is when I'm watching it, it's great, it's amazing, it's so artsy and like very like crazy psychedelic, and I like it. I'm not like enthralled with it where I have to watch the next episode, but I kind of like that. Like I have to be in a certain mood to watch it, and I kind of like that I am
Yeah.
watching it slowly. So I'm enjoying it. I'm not like over the moon about it, but I do very much I like it, and I hope it gets a second season.
Yeah, man. And I was talking to Wyatt about this, and I know Wyatt said it, and I absolutely thought it as well. Like it feels, some of the character models and faces kind of feels kind of Cory Walker-esque in that kind of
Yeah.
art style, and that there's a name for that art style, and I can't think of it. But it's incredible. It's incredible. And then other parts of it feel like Oblivion Song in the character
Yeah.
design and the world, and that you're thrown right
That's what
into
I
this.
always think of.
And it is like, for an example, because this happens multiple times. Okay, I'm gonna back up. There are shows that, or content, whatever, music, movies, whatever it is, that I'm like, damn, I wish I thought of this. This is one of those shows or things that I go, damn, I could never have thought of this.
Yeah.
Never. Like, you put me in a room, I could never come up with something like this. This is insane. Like, they'll be like, hey, I have an idea. We just need to like pick this flower and then like crush it up, and it falling onto the ground will cause a worm to come out and get that flower, and that worm will go up to this rock and put that flower up against that rock, which will turn it into this thing that we can then pick and use to pop, and then we could float up to the sky. Like,
incredible.
Things like that happen, but more ridiculous.
Yeah.
But it makes sense. And Bill, like, your love for like universes or sci-fi or being thrown into a world where you don't know the rules and they don't assume you know the rules and they do not explain it to you, that will pay off every episode more and more. You think you know, and then they just keep going. Some of the most disturbing stuff I've seen, like some really like deeply dark things, like it's really messed up in times. And but just the world building, I've never experienced something quite like this, and it is so fascinating and really, really cool. And I just want more of it. I would watch another like season of like, oh, when that happened, more people landed over here, like make it like Lost. And I want to see the tail, you know what I mean? The other side of the plane. Like, I want to see more stories of people just surviving on this planet, and just let those artists go nuts, because their design is insane.
And Sam in the chat said Scavenger's Reign is the most unique alien planet I've ever seen visually. And I think that hits on like why I initially loved it so much, is that it does sort of share, I think, some DNA with like the Alien franchise, in that humans are so dumb for thinking that aliens are just going to look like us, but with gray skin and big heads in a like flying saucer disc. Like the way that life evolved in the like totally different ways that it did on Earth, to where there are like such a wide range of different living creatures on Earth. If that happened on an alien planet that was totally different from ours, it would be as weird and trippy and scary as that is, or as a xenomorph is, or like it would be that dangerous to us. And I love how it really leans into that. It feels like they had like biologists on the writing team to be like, how could something evolve in a totally different way that's not of Earth? And to your point, TJ, about how like they each kind of feel like their own thing, and you kind of have to be in the right mood for it, and they kind of feel like almost standalone little bits. It does, I think, by the end of it, come together in really cool ways, where there are things that you think, okay, we're done with that thing because this character either died or was lost, or this thing's gone. That things sort of come back and things come together in a way by the end that feels super, super satisfying by the finale.
Yeah, it's cool to know that I'm only halfway.
No, especially TJ, like where you're at, I definitely felt that. I felt almost that like, almost exhaustion in a way of like, this is so much, you cannot look away. You're trying to process what's happening every episode. And then you're like, even if you're left on a cliffhanger, you're like, okay, I need to like sit with this for a little bit. And then you don't quite always feel like getting back into that world, because it's like really
overwhelming.
It's overwhelming. Absolutely. But that's part of what's so exciting about it. And thank you, Lewis. Mobius is who I was thinking of earlier, of that artist. And yeah, totally. And
so Antonio just said, reminds me of Annihilation and Mobius.
Oh, yeah. Mobius.
So Annihilation, I read it, and it's so fucked up in the same exact way, where it's like this light or whatever this is just morphs DNA in a way that you can't even begin to fathom. Like, how would a plant morph with a person, like, and light, and like so I liked. And to be honest, now that we're talking about it again, it's getting my like juices flowing. I'm probably gonna go watch that now after this.
Like, this I loved it. This would probably be my one thing coming from Ryan. Bill, you need to watch Scavenger's Reign.
Yeah,
although I don't know. There's other things.
Oh, there's other things. Oh, okay.
There's other things from the last other stuff show, Bill.
Yeah, that's fair.
Can I hit you guys
watch
with
Arcane,
my
Bill?
Watch Arcane. What's wrong with you? Can I hit you guys
Mitch got
with
Universe
my
in the app real quick, just before we move on? Mitch just said he got Universe in the app. Good
Oh,
job.
hell
Mitch.
yeah.
I still don't have her.
I got one, and I'm gonna see here. I'm gonna refresh.
I got one earlier today too.
I'm gonna refresh 4 times.
I can't complain because
no?
I got like 3 battle beasts
No.
so far, and I'm trying to level him
We're
up,
breaking
so
the
I'm
rules,
happy.
guys. We're talking about Invincible. Like,
I know.
Wow.
wow.
That's a lot of Damien.
It's a lot of
Darkwood.
Damien.
Herm.
Herm.
I'll hit you guys with my big one. Okay. So
Oh shit, we're going to the big one.
the one that I've watched, I don't think any of you guys have watched. Shogun is so
Oh, I know. Fuck.
good.
That's on my
It
list.
is
Yeah.
so fucking good. And it's like, I know everybody like says that they're okay with subtitles, but they're not really okay with subtitles. Like, you got to be okay with subtitles. You got two main characters. One of them is American, one of them is Japanese. The Japanese main character does not speak English, and they're in Japan. So the majority of the show is subtitles. Fucking incredible show. It got picked up for 2 more seasons. It got greenlit for 2 seasons.
Right.
Cannot fucking wait to watch more. It is awesome. And
TJ,
I can see this being like the next big like Game of Thrones thing.
TJ, did you watch Drops of God?
Mhm.
Didn't you watch that? That's like all subtitles.
all
That's
subtitles.
French, Japanese, and a little bit of English. But I'm totally cool with subtitles. I love
Oh, I
subtitles.
know you are. Yep.
I'm
talking more to the people.
I think if you've never watched something with subtitles before, then you're not watching enough. Like, there are so many good things out there that are in subtitles, not dubbed, that like just do it. Just jump in and do it. Because I was who wants to read a movie. That's like the typical thing, right? But TJ, I'm so mad that I haven't watched any of that because I loved Ghost of Tsushima, and when I first saw that trailer, I was like, "Oh
my god,
this show looks like it's gonna be top notch."
Yeah,
and I'm glad that you loved it that much.
No, don't go into it thinking so much Ghost of Tsushima. It is that for sure, but it's not like crazy super action packed from beginning to end. It's the story that makes it good, and it is very good, very good. So that's my big one.
Nice.
I cannot wait for you guys to fucking watch it. Goddamn.
TJ, I have replaced under your name. I didn't replace, but right now I have 3 Body and Shogun. I think it's going to be Shogun as your recommendation for which one of those?
For you?
For me?
Yes.
Okay.
And possibly for Wyatt, if he hasn't already seen this other thing. No, Bill.
You're saying because there's something else.
Okay.
Do we want to take an Invincible second, and you guys can like check your apps, and I'm gonna do an unboxing.
Sure. An unboxing?
Are we doing an Invincible thing on the other stuff show?
Yes.
With the guys talking about other stuff?
Yeah.
We don't want to save this for a podcast for an episode?
No, because I'm not gonna wait. When are we recording the next episode, TJ?
We haven't talked about it, but that's
exactly.
No one knows.
I'm opening
like a couple of weeks, I'm sure.
I'm opening this.
Actually, we should probably do one soon. Like the new month is 2 weeks away. So yeah,
it's true. Got a little Ross Marquand quote we should talk about.
So you guys,
hey.
Oh yeah, you guys can guess what this is, right?
No, I guess it's a box.
I hate that show. That's not what I signed up for.
Real quick, while you're unboxing it, should we talk about other things, or we're focusing on the?
No, he's got it open. He's got it open.
Opened the box.
I just want to see it. I just want to see it in person. I think I know what it is.
Omni Man and you got the fucking Sequid.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
What did you think it was, TJ?
Rexplode.
Yeah, for a second I thought it was the Rex and Mauler figures.
I think it's
they're not out yet.
Yeah, I don't think they're out yet.
Yeah.
All right, let's check this thing out.
Nice.
I'm already feeling pretty good about something that I had hoped about.
The legs.
Is there wires?
The legs have wires.
That's what I was hoping for. Let's see.
So
I don't think they are wired. Oh wait, they are. Okay.
Can you wrap it around your face and keep it on your head for the rest of the other stuff?
Or your neck or your shoulder. It doesn't necessarily
I don't know if you know this, Wyatt, but it is very hot. This is one of the 2 hot days that Buffalo gets, and it is this one. Taking the tag off.
Can I tell you my one thing with it though? Is that I want to have it on like the edge of my couch. You know what I mean?
You told me this when we were playing video games.
Okay. So I want to have it on the edge of my couch. Okay. but if you have two of the legs hidden, it
Yes.
looks like a penis and a ball sack.
Yeah, it's a scrotum. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. That's pretty cool.
And yeah, that's pretty good.
Guys, this is where we're at. This is
You
where we're
wear
at. with
that.
Invincible
I'm
stuff.
gonna wear
Are
the
you serious?
Magneto helmet. Why
There we
don't
go.
you guys have props? Why
Yeah,
don't?
come on, guys. We can screen cap this.
It's the sweet one.
There we go. We all had a fun little moment.
Mitch in the chat. Happy Pride? Question mark.
Happy Pride.
Yeah. Well, that's
Whose turn is it?
man.
Is it? I think we all
I just went with Shogun. Well, Ryan
Okay,
did
yeah.
the Sequid too.
Let me see.
You got something?
I mean,
Bill,
I don't.
Ryan?
I've got a
I-
list. Bill, if
Godzilla's
you've got one,
on
you
there.
go for it.
Godzilla's
Yeah,
on there.
somebody brought up Godzilla -1 in the
So-
chat because we were talking
so-
about subtitles.
So Godzilla -1, I said was my movie of last year. Last time we did the other stuff show, no one else had seen it because I had seen it in theaters. So now that it's shadow dropping on fucking Netflix is the greatest thing that has ever happened ever. I've been waiting for this
yeah.
movie
Excited.
to drop. I've been waiting for this movie to drop so on digital so I could buy it right away. And then Netflix is just like, oh hey, tomorrow Godzilla. I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah.
So I talked about it in great detail. You guys have all finally seen it. TJ, have you seen it yet?
So Ryan and I both went to the theater to see it in black and white when it got re-released in black and white, and I'm glad we saw it in black and
so
white.
glad.
It was so good. Like it was awesome in black and white. It felt very like we were watching, obviously like an old Godzilla movie. Like yeah, it was great.
It was
good.
incredible.
Good
That
story.
movie was
Yeah.
incredible. I again haven't gotten a chance to rewatch that, just like Dune 2, but I'm very excited to watch it once again.
Yeah, I watched it for the first time when it dropped on Netflix. And yeah, had the same reaction you guys did, that I was just blown away, thought that it was amazing. I think after I watched it, Nicole's not really a Godzilla fan, so I knew that she probably wouldn't enjoy it that much, but I was like, let me just show you this one part. And I was just showing her the part when he first does the like atomic breath in the city, and it like just the effects of it, I was like kind of surprised by, because I went in almost expecting it to be a little more low budget feeling, and it really, I don't think does feel that way at all.
No.
It was just like shocking and breathtaking the whole time. Yeah, it's easily the best thing that I've seen out of like a MonsterVerse Godzilla type of
I'm
movie.
really excited that the color version is the one that's on was it Netflix?
Yeah.
No, Netflix.
Yeah.
Which is really cool because I haven't seen that version. So hopefully they put out the black and white version as well for everybody to see both.
Yeah, I would love to watch it in black and white.
But yeah, very cool.
I also heard that they are that I haven't watched it in dub, but I heard from multiple people that the
Really?
dubbed version is like legitimately fucking good.
Really?
I heard people say
Yeah.
that it was good. I started it on Netflix and it was automatically the dub. And
Oh,
I
yeah?
stopped and I was like, I remember you guys talking about it not being a dub. And I had texted you guys about it. And so I like waited, got your text back that they're like, no, subtitles. So I switched it over just because I wanted my first viewing to be how people saw it in theaters. But I would like to actually go back and
like-
see how the dub holds up.
I feel like even if the dub is good, I think I still prefer
Yeah.
subtitle.
Oh, always 100%
Right?
of the time.
Like
100% of the time. Yeah.
I get it. It's great if people can't, and don't want to read it, but I'd rather just listen to them. Yeah. Yep.
I can go off of my list really quickly. I'm not going to count this one because I'm just going to go really quick. I'm enjoying The Acolyte, the Star Wars show. It's exhausting being on the internet.
That is a shoe, and that is a bear, and that is
That's a
That's a
bear for
bear.
sure. That's
That's
a
a
bear
bear.
with its legs all close together
it's a
and the
bear.
head sticking off. Yeah,
The bear?
yeah.
I'm
It's a
thinking
bear.
more like a hippo. Look how big its head is.
no, its head is in your hand, Ryan.
I know. Compared to
That's
its
a bear.
body,
That's a bear with a big old ass. Like
It's a man
fucking-
touching his toes.
But yeah, I'm enjoying The Acolyte a lot. The first two episodes I feel like started. I could see the comparisons that some people made, that it felt a little CW maybe in the first couple episodes, which I don't hate because I enjoyed like the Arrowverse stuff for a while. But the third episode and the fourth episode, I feel like have done a really good job of showing the cool stuff that the show is doing. it's really exhausting being on the internet and watching, Star Wars fans nitpick tiny little details and say that it's ruining Star Wars because they fucking changed Ki-Adi-Mundi's age from the prequels. Like, okay, if you're upset about Ki-Adi-Mundi, maybe go outside.
Who the fuck is Ki-Adi-Mundi?
Exactly, Bill.
There you go, Bill.
That's my answer. But I'm really enjoying it. The most recent episode ends on kind of a cliffhanger and ends with a character, like, not necessarily introduction because you see him, but shows some stuff with the villain of the show that is some of the coolest and like creepiest Star Wars villain introduction scenes that I've seen in a very long time. Who the fuck is Ki-Adi-Mundi? A well-adjusted person. Exactly, Antonio. Thank you. If you're getting mad about Ki-Adi-Mundi,
Antonio also brings up, aside
reevaluate
from
things.
Andor, this it feels like a TV show.
Yeah,
Which
totally.
kind of refreshing. It's like, hey, they're not trying to make this feel like a movie.
It reminds me of reading some Star Wars books. Like, and
That's
Ryan, you read
cool.
some of the High Republic books where, like, you're reading it and you're not like, holy shit, this is the best thing Star Wars has ever done. It's revolutionizing everything. But it's like, oh, there's some Jedi characters. And the way that a lot of these characters in this time period are approaching Jedi and the Force and all of this in a different way that I'm not familiar with, that maybe has something to say about the Jedi we know, is really cool. And the action sequences that we've seen of like Jedi essentially using like martial arts against somebody and not taking their lightsaber out because they're not going to do that if somebody's like doesn't have a weapon has been really cool. Like there's been some really cool action sequences. I'm excited to see where it goes. And hopefully that the people that hate it online will just like maybe watch something else,
Watch something else. Talk about the thing you do like.
Yeah.
I'm excited to watch it, though, and I think that I've gotten the right mindset now, going in. And so that's cool. I'm gonna check it out. Shout out to Mitch. Mitch is putting in his other stuff to share. The Outsiders musical on Broadway won Best Musical at the Tonys. And is like my favorite theater
Wow.
in 10 years.
And you know what? I feel like that will transition very well because don't the Outsiders all like do dance and gymnastics anyways? Don't they? I'm thinking of The Right Thing, right? Like Pony Boy. Like, isn't that The Outsiders? You don't know what The Outsiders is?
No.
I don't.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
The Outsiders with fucking oh my god, it's got the Karate Kid in it. It's got Ghost in it, the guy. Yeah, Ralph Macchio. I think
I feel like this is a thing that if I saw some pictures of it, I'd probably
I think you would
be familiar.
Patrick Swayze's in it. So it's like it takes place in the 50s. They're like a gang. They're like a close knit. The Outsiders are a gang.
Oh yeah, okay.
And they all know.
I recognize the pictures.
Yeah, we all read it in like middle school.
So Mitch straight up called this. I feel like Mitch reached out like almost a year ago and said, "Hey, this song is incredible. This is going to be like the best musical," and it just won the Tony. So good job, Mitch. You know your stuff.
Nice.
But yeah, that's exciting. I would like to see that, especially if I'm in New York. Hopefully, I don't have to wait long enough for it to come to Buffalo. But I don't know, Mitch. I'm more of a fan. If it's a really good musical, I want to see it before I listen to it. Should I listen to it first?
No, don't do that.
I know. I never like to. I did that right at the start of COVID. I really wanted a new musical to get into. And so I listened to the music for Hadestown first before seeing it. And it was incredible. I loved it. And then got to eventually see it. And it was incredible live too. And it didn't really ruin it. It might have even made it better in some ways. But I normally would prefer to not know the music until seeing it. So I don't know.
Smooth transition.
Exactly.
It's not a live musical. It's not for people. It's not a stage play. It's just recorded and you play it on your, device.
Concept musical.
But Epic. We just started to listen to Epic. Ryan kind of fell into it, and Wyatt and I listened to it, and it is
expecting all of you like the Sequids.
It's very, very good. Like very good. Like I pretty much I might know if there's like 20 songs, I know like 18 of them by heart.
Yeah, man. Like we could go through all the lyrics
in my head.
Wow.
There's not a bad song on any of them, and the ones that are in my opinion, the best, are like chill inducing good. Like
Yeah.
I remember
crazy.
I remember
Cool.
showing Nicole some of
You
it, and I
guys-
was like, "Have you heard some of this?" Because I had heard the sound, I had heard some of the songs on TikTok before Ryan had sent it to me, because it was getting like viral that way, where people had been using it as just like audio behind like edits they've done. And I like played it for Nicole, being like, "Have you heard this song before? Because it's part of a musical that Ryan's telling me about it." And like 30 seconds into one of the songs that's in the first saga, Nicole was just like, "I just got goosebumps." Like it's fantastic.
Oh, is
Bill.
it? I think
It's
I've
so
heard
good.
this song on TikTok. Is it that one that's like, "I've been a nasty girl. I've been a nasty
100%.
girl." Is it that one?
100%,
Okay.
Bill. Yep. That's actually
So if you-
Odysseus who says
So,
that.
so if you don't know what it is, it's Epic.
Goosebumps.
It's called Epic, the Troy Saga, and make sure if you look it up and you're listening to it that you're going in the right order.
Yeah.
It's definitely worth checking out. It's like every song is great,
It's
and it
a
tells
musical
story.
retelling of the Odyssey, and it's
So
fantastic.
how I listen to it is I got the first album, and I listened to that over and over and over before allowing myself to go to the second one, and then listen to that over and over and over before I went to the third, and so on.
So
To really understand the story.
to give accolades where they're due, Ryan had listened to this, like, I feel like it's been like
8 to 10
10
months.
years ago.
Yeah.
Like before he was like, and it just came up. I was like, "Oh yeah, I kind of listened to this thing. It's one of these songs on like it came up randomly. I'm like, what the fuck is this?" And he's like, "Oh, it's this musical I'm listening to." And then you explain it, and I still don't get it.
Yeah.
But now it's like spreading. So kudos to
dude,
you, Ryan, for
I'm
being-
telling you, it really is fantastic, and you would like it. Like similar to how like I've infected you with board games, I have infected TJ with Greek mythology. Like not only has he been like really into Epic, and it's amazing, but he and I also read
Song of Achilles.
Song of Achilles. And so I'm like saying names and words that TJ would have never known, and we're like all talking about Greek mythology shit now.
To be
It's
fair,
been- it's been the best.
To be fair, like yes, Epic like opened me up to like, oh, like cool, like there's this new thing and it's Achilles, but it also it's a gay love story. Song of Achilles.
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah,
gay love
not
story. I was like, oh, I'll check that out because I haven't read anything.
So
like that
is there
before.
like
It was-
is there
Song
like
of
a
Achilles
narrative?
was Song of Achilles
Yes.
was incredible.
There's
So it's like, oh, and then he went over here, and then and then he started
No.
singing this song, and
To-
then he sings
There
this song.
is Bill in no, there's no narrative.
Epic, in Epic.
there is a
No.
there is a narrative to Epic.
There is no narrator. Like Bill is asking, is there somebody that says, and then he goes over here, and then
No,
this
it's not
person
an
says this?
audiobook.
No,
No, it's not an audiobook. It's
people
told
singing
through the
to
songs.
each other.
Yeah.
And each person has it's Les Mis. It's Les Mis. That's what
Oh,
it is.
so it's like you're listening to Les Mis?
It's a
Yes.
musical. Yeah.
Yes.
Fucking Ryan. It's a musical.
Yeah. I mean that's what he said. I mean
There's
it's
no
not
narrative.
it
There's
is
no
not
Well, I didn't know
narrative.
if it was like the listening to the soundtrack of like The Greatest Showman, where it's like one song and then
Oh,
like
no.
5 scenes
No.
later it's this
No,
other
but
song.
the songs are like hit songs like that. Like they feel like that. They're
You
not
understand what's
all-
going on.
I got it.
Yeah.
To
but
jump
yeah,
on what you said,
but yeah.
Ryan, about how you've been like you infected TJ with Greek mythology. I feel a little similarly with me and Bill that I've infected him to read more of the Expanse books.
You know,
Because he's been
Wyatt, that was
texting
going to be
me.
mine.
I'm teeing you up, Bill, just like you
I
teed me
appreciate
up
it.
for Aliens.
Oh yeah.
Because I was watching all the Alien stuff. He was like, I had brought up the Expanse again because they're similar genre, truckers in space kind of vibes. And
Yeah,
so
we're under
Bill
the
is
potty.
like around halfway through book 5-ish, maybe a little
Wow.
more than halfway
More
through,
than-
probably.
More than halfway through. So
Yeah.
I read books 1 through 4, and Wyatt, like, I feel like you love The Expanse as much as I love like Alien or
Yes.
something else that I'm really, really passionate about. And for
Yeah.
no one else to like be into it, I feel like I owed you, like I owed it to you. Like
appreciate
I was
that.
like, I understand what it's like to have nobody like fucking like this thing that I love, that I adore. And The Expanse, man, it's like this last book, I did not like it when it first started. It's book 5, Leviathan's
Book
War?
5 is Nemesis Games.
Nemesis
Leviathan
Games.
Wakes
Okay,
is the
what
first
was
one.
the
Nemesis
last-
Games is the one
Okay,
you
all right.
just read. Yeah.
And it is like it's the author or authors. I think there's 2 of them.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They go by James S.A. Corey, but it's two
Yeah.
people working together.
So
Louise
this-
says it's Wyatt's Paddington, Bill. Absolutely. It is
It,
my
no, it
Paddington.
is. It
Yeah.
no, it is, and it's so fucking good. Like
So
Wyatt.
wait. So you started book 5, didn't love it, and so you're back,
I'm back,
and you're
baby.
in.
Yeah, so I started
Okay.
book 5 reading it, and then I was like, you know what? I'm having a really hard time with the setup of this one. Like, I don't love what they're doing. It's pretty much the crew that you love as a crew split up, and they're all doing their own thing. And I'm like, I don't like this. I don't like this at all. So then I'm like, I'm just gonna I'm gonna audiobook it. So like, I don't have an option.
The audiobooks
other
are
than
great too.
Other than
Really?
to like,
Yeah.
And since then, Wyatt, I haven't been able to stop. It's very fucking good. Guys, if you have not read any of the Expanse books, start, because it's like one of those, it's like Breaking Bad. This little thing that happens in episode 1 has insane repercussions that you don't even think about in these other books. And then they come back and it's like, oh my fucking God. Like, I was texting Wyatt. I'm like, did they actually did they do this? Did they just fucking do? It's like, I can't spoil it, but it's very good.
Yeah.
Wyatt, I'm thoroughly enjoying this book. I'm thoroughly
you don't understand like the just amount of glee I had when you started texting me about things that were happening in the book. I was talking to Nicole like as we were getting Grayson ready for bed, because it was late night one night that you must have been reading.
Yeah, it was late.
And you texted me about something that happened, and I looked at my phone and I was like mid conversation with Nicole, and then she goes, "What is it?" I go, "Bill just got to in this book," and I was like. And she goes, "If you want to go respond to him, you can." I was like, "Okay, thank you." And I was like, just thrilled. But I remember it was one of the times that we had all met up that you had mentioned that you started book 5 and got a little bit into it and not there. And I talked about how that would be like if somebody read all of Invincible up to like right before Conquest, and then we're like, "Oh, I'm gonna stop." Like where you're at in book 5 is where things really hit the fan and start escalating in really cool ways. So I'm very excited that you're loving it. Love that Mitch is starting the 6th book as well. It's a big ask. Like, there are long books and there's a total of 9 of them, but
knowing
they
that
each have their own, like, each book, even though it is sci-fi, has kind of a sub genre where the first one is kind of like a detective noir thriller. There's like the second one is more of like political intrigue type of story that's all telling the whole story. It's fantastic. Yeah, I'm glad you're
so knowing that the audiobook got your seal of approval is very good, because at work I can easily listen to an audiobook and everything, so I'll knock it out.
Bro,
I actually read a little more than half of Song of Achilles, and then when I recommended it to TJ and TJ was going to start reading it, I finished it on audiobook because he had the physical copy. So I'm all for the audiobook version. In fact, I'm very excited for TJ to read the next book that the same author from Song of Achilles wrote, and that one might be my next audiobook, but either way, it's on my list, Wyatt. I will probably listen.
Hey, Wyatt.
To the Expanse.
Hey, Wyatt.
Yeah.
Mitch just said that 5 might actually be his favorite.
I know. I saw that. You know what? And what I'll say.
You said it too. You said it to me.
What, that 5 was like the favorite?
Your favorite?
It is it's the one that I think most people view as like one of their favorites. All of the books they kind of go in twos. The authors have described them as like duologies, like 1 and 2 kind of fit together, 3 and 4 sort of fit together, 5 and 6 kind of fit together, and the last 3, 7, 8, and 9 are a trilogy. Those 3 are the best. Like, it really does save the best and the craziest stuff for last, and it's wild. Yeah, I can't wait for you to get into some of that stuff too. I love that Mitch is loving it too.
You know how, TJ, like, you read a lot. Like, and you're always hungry for like a new book. You should start the Expanse series. Honestly, they're very, very good. Yeah.
After Cersei,
it's very much like, you know how Game of Thrones has like the political aspect of it, and it's like, ooh, these warring families, and
very
like
Game of Thrones.
And then it also has like the zombie aspect and like the magic aspect. Like, Expanse does that. It's like, I really like the proto-molecule stuff, and I like the mystery of where did they go, like, and what were they doing with the gates, and where did the civilization go? And then all of a sudden it throws in all this political, like, real life oh yeah, the Belters were being shit on all this time, and I as an earther, as an earth-born person, didn't care about the Belters, and now I'm like,
no one
maybe,
knows anything.
maybe I should have.
People are so bored right now. People are so bored.
Wyatt, I was like, maybe I should have been caring about the Belters this whole time
Oh
because
my
this is a side comment.
It's a metaphor, Bill. It's a metaphor.
Moving on. All right, go on. I'm thank you, Wyatt, for the tee up. That was going to be my next one.
I asked you guys to watch the first season, and you didn't do it. And now season 2 of My Adventures with Superman is out.
Oh,
and it's great.
I know. Shit, that's on the list too. I'm adding it.
Yeah.
It is great.
How many did you watch?
How
Bill?
many
How many did
episodes?
you watch?
I watched one episode. I watched
I
one.
think I watched the first 2, but I did fall off.
The season premiere of 2 is so subtly good because it has all the things where it's like, you know, that meme of like Leonardo DiCaprio pointing at the TV, like oh, like it's all these things that they don't explain, but you see little things in the background. You're like, oh shit, that's gonna come back. I know what that is, and I know what that is. Like, so fucking good. I'm like halfway through the season. It's amazing, and it's one of those. It's one of those things we were talking about before. So where it's like every episode like might have its own villain, but they all connect. You like you said, like you can't skip an episode. It's
I'm very excited. Before I lose it, Antonio had asked about Blood of Zeus before we get too far from it. I watched season 1 when it was out. I enjoyed season 1. It definitely scratches the Greek mythology itch because I'll watch and consume anything Greek mythology, but it was just okay. It wasn't my favorite interpretation of those characters, but it was cool and the animation's crazy. It's the Castlevania team, right? I'm pretty sure.
Nice.
It looks just like it, and I'm pretty sure it's the
yes.
same. And I've heard pretty good things about season 2, so I am excited to watch season 2. It's on the list. I will watch it.
Castlevania is very good too. If you haven't watched it, I know it's very old,
but
but
the first season was
very
awesome.
That
You might have
good.
watched the second one too. I don't remember.
And I think there's a
that's
spinoff too. But
Yeah.
I digress.
A show that I started watching that is very good. I'm like 4 episodes in. Joel Edgerton. It's on Apple TV, and it's called Dark Matter.
Oh,
very
good
good.
Things. Yeah,
Very good. It's based on a book.
What is it?
What is it? Okay. I'll tell you the premise. Somebody from another dimension finds his way into this dimension and kidnaps you and sends you back to his dimension. And he takes your place.
Yes.
Oh, so he swaps places with his like alternate dimension person?
Yes. Yeah. I won't say much more than that, but it's awesome. It's very, very good. Very, very good. I'm liking it a lot right now. Like, honestly, like we all know Apple TV, it doesn't miss. Like every show that's come out of it.
What's the name of this one?
It's called Dark Matter.
Okay, that's the one with the guy, and he's going through a door on 2 different sides or whatever. I just see it always advertised, and that's the image they use.
Doesn't it have like Jeremy Renner in it or something like that?
No, it's a Jeremy Renner looking dude.
Joel Edgerton.
Joel Edgerton.
Oh, he's the guy who was in Blight. He was in Blight.
Yeah.
Right.
Kind of reminds me of the guy from the War for the Planet of the Apes. You know what guy I'm talking about?
I do know what you're talking about.
I thought it was him, TJ.
It's not.
Oh no, the guy who played Kyle Reese in or not Kyle Reese. John Connor in fucking Dark Fate or whatever. Not Dark Fate.
I don't know.
Genesis.
Yes, that's who. That person is not in Dark Matter. It's who Ryan.
That's who
gets
Ryan
them
thought
mixed
he
up
was.
with.
Yeah, got it.
Okay, weird. All right, Chris, are you referring to the live action or the anime?
I think he's probably talking about the anime.
Aren't
I've
there
heard
like
people like the live action.
episodes?
I started it, and because my sister-in-law, Nicole's sister, is a huge fan of it. It's something over 1,000 episodes. They are really fun, and especially growing up, really my only anime that I watched as a kid was Dragon Ball Z, and it does sort of scratch the like anime nostalgia itch. I definitely do want to get back to it. It's a fun show, and I've heard that the live action is a really good stepping on point as well.
Okay,
and then Antonio mentioned this in the chat, and it's one of the ones that's on our thumbnail. So I'll quickly go over it. Challengers is like a close second to Dune 2 for my favorite movie of the year so far.
What? The tennis
It's-
movie?
I know, Bill.
Dude,
That's
everybody's talking
what
about
I'm
it.
saying.
What did you just say?
And
What?
here's the caveat. I'm a huge Trent Reznor 9 Inch Nails fan. He did the score. Him and Atticus Ross did the score.
I'm looking
It's
all over the
fantastic.
thumbnail. I'm like,
This is
Alien,
crazy. No one is-
Zendaya
no one
is-
on the thumbnail.
all right.
Challengers is
Looks like-
so it is the tennis movie. It's the movie about Zendaya and two people that are interested in Zendaya. It's very horny. I'll put that out there. You need to be ready for it to be that kind of movie. The way that it is edited, the way that the story unfolds, the way I don't want to spoil anything about it because I went in knowing only it's the horny tennis movie, and a lot of people are saying it's one of their favorite movies of the year. And Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross do the score, and the score is. I love all of the stuff that Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross have done. Some of their scores are better than others. Like they did the score for Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem. It was also great. This score is like their best one since Social Network. It's very like synth heavy. It's very like, it is one of the ones that I will like put on if I'm going for a jog, and it just like is so energetic. But the movie itself is incredibly well acted. It's well shot. It's well directed. There are moments in the movie that I was just like, I know what they're doing right now, and they're almost teasing the audience with a thing that is about to happen, and that fits so well with this movie that I'm shocked that they're able to like pull this off in this way. It's a great movie. It is definitely
Is
worth
the thing
watching.
that you think that's going to happen is someone is going to get effed like an animal?
No, it's not that. But
That's a song from Nine Inch Nails.
exactly,
I was
exactly.
Just to
That
be
is a
fair, I
Nine Inch
wasn't
Nails
being
reference.
crazy. It was a Nine Inch Nails reference.
And
I was
Bill,
in,
the people
but-
making this movie took that song, and that's probably the reason they asked Trent Reznor to score this movie, because they were like, the energy you brought in that song, that's what we're bringing to this movie.
Did
That's
they
the
just
energy
need to
we're bringing to
take-
this movie.
Did they want to make the horniest movie ever, and they had to put it into a genre of movie that people wouldn't see it in? So they're like, tennis. Let's just make it about tennis.
No, it's not. It's not like it's a essentially like a porno that's pretending to be a tennis movie. It is a genuinely good like drama thriller type of movie. I don't know if I would even say thriller. It's just it's very unique. That's probably one of the reasons why it's one of my favorites of the year, that I would even put it up there with like Dune 2, that it was so surprising to me, and it is such a unique movie. It's worth watching for sure.
All right.
That to me piques my interest more than anything that we've talked about, because it came out of nowhere.
I
Out
agree.
of nowhere.
I agree.
I have two other real quick ones that I'll just like mull over. But we saw Bill and I saw Fall Guy, Ryan Gosling.
Oh, I really want to watch that.
Emily Blunt.
Mhm.
Very good. I thought it was like awesome. It was a fun movie, so definitely check that out.
Yeah, I'm very excited to watch that one.
I also started getting into, never really had any interest in it, but I started watching Bob's Burgers, and it's kind
nice.
of like Rick and Morty, where it's like you start watching it and you're like, I don't know, but then you like fall in love with what it is, and it's very, very good. There's a lot of it too, so I'm getting through it, so that's very good. Anybody else have any other stragglers?
Lightning rounds. Yeah, we're gonna
Uh,
probably wrap up
yeah.
kind of soon because we've been going for a while.
We have to each pick
I've
something
got
for each
a-
other too.
I've got one of those oddballs that's coming at you. I don't even know if I want to bring it up. I've mentioned
Is it going to be
so
like the
many-
horny tennis movie? I doubt it.
No,
doubt
the
it.
opposite. The opposite. Everybody
Barney goes to jail.
was close. Everybody was talking about Bluey, so I had to watch.
Oh
some
yeah, yeah,
Bluey. And like, why is this show so good?
dude,
like,
Bluey's awesome.
Legit,
Welcome to the
like
club.
really, really good and well written, and like the acting, like the voice work is so fun, and like it's just Bill. I have a couple, like as Katie and I have been watching some. I'm like, that's an episode I'm gonna write down, and I'm writing down the title of episode. So if you or TJ ever come over or something, I'm gonna be like, 15 minutes, just watch this,
Yeah.
and you will see. Like
I've seen them.
I get it. Oh, you have? Okay, so you get
Yeah.
it. You get
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
There's
Okay.
an episode where the dad like is playing with the kids and he gets up and his knees hurt and he like tries to get
Dude,
up. He's like, "Oh, my
that's
knees!"
just-
Like, and I'm like,
that's
"Oh
just
my god!"
everything.
Like, what?
Yeah,
This
It's
is
so
what? This is a kids show? Remy watches it like it's Game of Thrones. Remy's like, "Oh my god, Bluey!" Like, it's so
Apparently it gets to that point. So
Antonio. You know, again, we all have range. Okay,
you do it. This
I'm
whole
a big
episode
Bluey
is range.
fan. I'm also a big Challengers fan.
We
you
should
know?
have put Bluey in the image of all
Yeah.
the other
Bluey
xenomorphs.
next to Zendaya.
Yeah. But yeah, other stuff. What are other random things? We didn't
haven't
talk
really
all
talked
about video games.
Thank you. I was about to mention that.
Jesus,
well, I
guys,
know we're all
we
going to
have
talk about
time?
Helldivers in a minute. We can talk about Helldivers in a minute. My like rapid fire one for video games. I've been replaying Hyper Light Drifter, which is an indie game that came out like 7-8 years ago. I can't remember how long. I played through it once like 2 years ago, and it's fantastic. It's very much like a Link to the Past Zelda type game, top down pixel art. There are no words in the entire game. The whole story is like meant to just be told visually. It's one of the coolest looking games. It's such a fun game to play. Like everything feels right in the same way that like Bill, you know how when you log into Metal Gear and even the menu like makes a sound when you go to different things and you're just like, oh, that just feels nice.
Yeah.
That whole game is that. It's just all of that. Everything feels incredible and it's such a fun Zelda type game. So that's my one like quick one. But then yeah, Helldivers has consumed
quick game
our
before
gaming.
Helldivers.
Yeah.
Right before Helldivers. I'm sorry, Wyatt. Hades 2 is so good. It's so good.
I still haven't played it.
Like it was better than the first game at a certain point. And it's probably improved 2 times over since that point. Like how did they do that? And
I can't wait.
Bill has my Steam Deck right now. Otherwise, I'd be playing it more every day because it was so good, and I can't wait to get back into it. I'm probably gonna wait till there's like a significant update, till I can jump back in because it's still in early access. But I can't wait, man. It's fantastic, and yeah, it's great. Hades 2.
The funny story about Hades, really quick, is Ryan borrowed my Steam Deck for a few weeks and played the fuck out of Hades 2. When I got my Steam Deck back, which I was very excited for, it kept dying instantly and would not hold a charge. I looked at the battery health and it was at like 15%. And I'm like, Ryan, were you having battery issues? He's like, no, not at all. I got my Steam Deck back from Ryan after playing Hades 2, and I had to buy a replacement battery, take my Steam Deck apart, and replace the fucking battery.
Bill, you should go grab your Steam Deck and look at the hours for Hades 2. Like legit. I will. I guarantee it's over 20.
That's pretty good. For as long as
I had it for like a week and a half.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
But yeah, it's fantastic. And Mitch, I agree. Like I did not want to touch it until full release. But then everything I was hearing was like, this is the full release. And I'm viewing it almost as this is the game, and any changes that come out are going to be like updates or expansions and everything. Because I honestly can't imagine it being much bigger. I've put in well over 20 hours, I think, and I haven't beaten it. I'm not close to beating it. Like there's so much awesome. I haven't seen. So the full game, if it's going to get that much bigger, is going to be insane. So very exciting. And yeah, it was Owen. Play the first Hades, man. You could probably get that on sale for like $5 or something now. Even if it's 20, it's worth it. It was fantastic. Loved that game. Yeah.
And then Helldivers has consumed the rest of my gaming time since it came out.
All of us.
It's just everything about it works so well. All of the guns feel so punchy and fun to play. Any explosion that you're anywhere near shakes the camera and jostles you around so ridiculously. Playing, especially with a group full of people and accidentally killing each other or dropping a stratagem on each other.
Or purposely.
So much fun. It is probably my game of the year so far. And that's saying that I haven't really played a ton of games that have come out this year either. Yeah. But it's fantastic.
It's just a lot. It's just a lot of fun. Like like have a drink, smoke a little if that's your thing. Like, and just fucking just have fun.
It's kind of like Fortnite. Like where you just want to jump in and play a game and have fun. And
no,
not for you.
Don't compare it to Fortnite because it is not like Fortnite. Fortnite is not fun. You play for 5 seconds before some fucking 18-year-old kid shoots you in the face and you die before you can even learn how to play. No, it's not like Fortnite.
Yeah.
That's not true, Bill. Sometimes you emote right before they do it, and you all do a little dance together, and then you get.
Wait, which game are you talking about? Are you talking about Helldivers or Fortnite?
Listen,
that's the point. Is that
I know
that's the point why it's making.
I know
one of the greatest things in Helldivers is hugging your squad mates after a mission well
It
done.
is no,
True.
Helldivers is incredible. It does feel different, but I'm saying in a sense, it feels as though like we just jump in for fun. And like
Yeah.
you said, Bill, have a drink and just hang out and chat. One thing that I miss most about, no, I guess it's still 4 players, but man, can you imagine if we can get more people in there? We just have so many friends that want to play it sometimes that it's like
Yeah.
if we got everybody we knew that plays Helldivers in one group, in one mission, even if we're on different sides of the area, man.
I
yeah.
hope they introduce like a raid type activity later on where you can get like 6 people or
right.
more.
That's
than
what I'm
that. That would be
thinking.
awesome. That would be
Yeah,
very cool.
just like how Destiny does.
Yeah.
Get more people in certain modes.
Yeah,
But,
that's one of the hardest thing about Helldivers is like when 5 of us are on and you're just like, oh fuck, who's
Yeah.
gonna sit out, you know?
Yeah,
Who are we going to boot
who's
because
leaving
Eduardo
soon?
Ferragato wants to play with us? You know what
Yeah,
I
Oh
mean?
my god,
Like,
Eduardo.
He's
So
been
much fun.
messaging me all this week wanting to get together, so we got to figure that out.
Yeah.
Should we pick?
Well,
Go
I
ahead,
do want
any
to.
more?
I do want to call it real quick though that Antonio mentioned follow or Fortnite because we have been playing that, and the new season is pretty wild. It's the most since
It's
we've
good
been
with a
playing. The
team.
most it has felt different, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
It's the most
it
different
feels
it's ever
like
felt
a
right
very
now.
different game.
It's just a crazy
Twisted Metal, Mad
Twisted Metal.
Max.
Yeah, totally. So going around in vehicles and upgrading them and everything has been a lot of fun. So,
Yeah.
but that's been cool.
Do we want to make our picks for each other?
All right.
We have to do it, right?
Yeah, I don't really have any. I could talk about board games for a while. Obviously the Invincible, the hero building game has been a ton of fun. We've been doing the videos for that, loving that. Been painting more miniatures for Marvel Zombies. That's been a ton of fun. TJ, you and I haven't played Lorcana in a while. I've been wanting to play that again.
Yeah, they came out with a new thing.
I just picked up Star Wars the deck building game because that's been getting great rave reviews and it was on sale, so I grabbed that. Bill, if you want to borrow any of these rule books, just let me know. I'll drop them off. But yeah, that's
know what? Part of the fun, part of the fun that I'm learning about these role playing board games is learning the rules. And like once you like learn a new rule, you're like, oh fuck, that's and then me and Ryan, I was like, Ryan, guess what?
Bill,
this is the fucking rule. Yeah,
this is what it is. I get now.
I get it.
The next time you come
Wyatt
over and play Marvel Zombies,
Ryan,
it'll be
board
like,
games. I get
dude,
it.
Yeah. What was I just about to say? Oh, we were talking, or Owen just shouted out Eduardo and Radiant Black. Before we get into any other last minutes or recommendations for each other, Radiant Black is insane right now. Like, obviously, I work with Kyle at Black Market, so grain of salt and all, but the arc that they're in right now is incredible, and it's almost done. It's almost done, and
it is
very smart.
I think Radiant Black right now is the most exciting it's ever been, and it's never not been exciting. Like it's very impressive. And then staying in the comic realms real quick, Void Rivals is also like I can't get enough of it. Every single issue has been incredible, even though I'm always like picking up a book being like, is there going to be too many Transformers references that I don't really get or like weird deep cut things? They're doing so much cool world building stuff that is just specifically to Void Rivals that I'm loving it.
I'm kind of surprised they've taken it this long without it being like, all right, it's a Transformers comic.
Yeah.
Like it
really does feel like it's a commitment to the just that being its own book.
That's great.
Yeah.
All right, I'm done and ready to get into final recommendations. TJ, anything else? Bill, Wyatt?
No,
No,
I'm good.
I think we're good.
So I wrote.
There's lots more to talk about, but we got
to
go.
I wrote things down that I assume would be from each of you. So if I can just get this right, then I'm good. Bill, you want me to watch Paddington before the next one? 1 and 2.
Oh my god, and Alien 3. But yeah,
TJ, it's either 3 Body, Shogun, Adventures of Superman, or Dark Matter.
Shogun.
So TJ, it's Shogun. The other things are still on the list, but these are the must watches.
Yep.
And then Wyatt, I have Expanse audiobook.
Ooh, love that.
So at least one.
Yeah.
At least
just start the first one. Start the first one, see how you feel about it.
And so that's everything that I will take from my one from each of you.
Does it have to be something that we talked about?
No.
For TJ, I'm going to take the 3 Body Problem because I am really excited to see that. And I do want to watch it. So I'm putting 3 Body Problem from TJ. I don't remember what everybody else recommended already because we've talked about so much stuff. Chris in the chat says read Invincible. I don't know. Goggles are weird. Bill, should I also do Paddington, Bill, or is there something else?
Have
that
you
I
never
should
seen
do?
Paddington?
I have not. I still haven't watched them.
My God.
Yeah, we don't have to do
Yes.
different things. We can do the same thing.
Yeah.
100% Paddington
Okay.
1 and 2. 1
I'll
and
do
2.
Paddington 1 and 2. And then Ryan, I don't know that you recommended anything that I haven't watched, other than like Hades 2, which I'm not trying to
which
do
not
until full release.
I can ship my Steam Deck. It's got a fresh battery, Wyatt. It's got a fresh
You
battery.
can ship Ryan's Steam Deck, okay? It's his Steam Deck.
Oh man,
I can't borrow it to play
only-
Adam Eve, and I'm a part of the Invincible podcast.
the only thing on the thumbnail we didn't talk about was The Expanse. I'm
That's
sorry,
true.
not The Expanse.
We talked about that at length.
No,
We
hon.
can.
The other astronaut show. Isn't that what you put on the thumbnail?
Oh yeah, For All Mankind. We
For All
did put
Mankind.
For All
Gave you a
Mankind
segue
them.
with Apple.
It was good.
We don't-
I sort of fell off before the last season because Fallout came out, but it
Yeah.
was good.
It was good. We don't need to talk about it much more, but I
Yeah.
enjoyed watching that. For the most recent season was just okay.
So do we have
Shoot, I don't have
Oh.
anything for Wyatt.
Song of Achilles?
I'll think about it while other people are going, and then I'll try to fill in another one for Ryan if I have.
There's so many things.
Song of
I think I
Achilles
should
was
just-
very good, Wyatt.
I'll
That
write
could be-
that.
that-
I'll write that
That
as
could
my
be a
temporary.
Ryan thing. That could be a Ryan thing.
Yeah, maybe that's your Ryan thing. If
I'll put Song of Achilles if I
Or
think of
Susie.
something else or I listen back and I see
I'll let
that
you
there's
know if I
something else
change
that was
it.
mentioned, then
yeah.
I'll change it. But otherwise, I'll write that for now.
Okay.
So,
So you
for
got all
me,
three of yours, Wyatt?
Yes.
For Ryan, would mine be Circe?
I mean, you're gonna do it anyways. That's not really something that we
So what-
talked about. You need to watch.
Ryan's like, I want to use my credit here to make
Yeah, right.
you watch something.
What do you got?
But I don't know if there is because oh no, Mr. and Mrs. Smith,
Mr. and Mrs. Smith. Okay.
Oh yeah,
definitely.
Let me write it down.
Yeah.
Wyatt, for you?
What should you do? I'm trying to think of what I brought up that you haven't watched because I feel like you've watched. You know what? Challengers, TJ.
Got it.
Challengers.
I am curious.
Nice.
now.
It's as good as
Yeah.
Bluey.
Yeah, there you go. Antonio
I
says
am-
Challengers as good as Bluey. Put it
See you
on the
later,
box
dude.
for Challengers.
Okay.
Hell yeah, Mitch. It's gonna be a good time.
Ooh, nice.
What do you got, Bill? What do I need to do or read?
The Expanse. I think you should read it.
Don't make him do that. TJ was already tired of The Expanse just from us talking about it. Don't.
No,
make
I
him
really-
read the book.
TJ, I really think that no, you don't like sci-fi. I don't know.
If I
anything
give
that
you a book, would you read it though? Like if I gave you a book, would you actually read it?
Yeah. If it's on this list, then I have to. Otherwise, I'll be ridiculed by everyone in the fucking chat. Yeah.
Months. We're saying like November, December by the time we do this again.
And you, for the record, you can continue to read The Expanse if you'd like to. But
Yeah, but I have
think
to read-
at the very least,
How big
first
is
book.
how big are these books?
They're like,
And if I don't like them, like I'm
bro.
right.
You'll Yoshi, have you ever read The Expanse? Let us know.
yeah, I feel like Yoshi
all
would
right,
like it.
that's fine.
Yeah.
I mean,
Ryan,
TJ,
yours is
TJ
Shogun.
TJ, Expanse is on my list from Wyatt.
Yeah,
Like I'm doing it too.
Yeah.
We'll book club.
And I'm
it.
also
Whoa.
reading it. So
But,
listen, guys, we owe it to Wyatt. Like
You
Wyatt
really
loves
don't.
this.
I
thing.
listen.
Yeah.
No, we
I
do.
How many
Wyatt.
things?
I
no,
can't
how
help
many
but
things
talk
have
about
we
the things
infected you
that
with?
I love. That's how I ended up here on this podcast. Okay, I can't help it. I'm not trying to force you guys to read The Expanse.
No, we
Okay,
owe it to
so-
Wyatt.
So for mine, Ryan, yours is Shogun. Wyatt, you said you're gonna do Three Body Project.
Yes, Three Body Problem.
Problem. Yeah, thank you.
So everybody has all three except Bill, right?
Yeah, I don't have
yes,
any.
yeah. So
All right, Bill.
when you
Because
said
there's so
I
many.
get to-
So
I
one
get to
each. You guys
force-
get one each.
All right,
the
Bill.
the thing
So,
I get to
can I go
force-
first?
I'm writing. I'm making notes. By the way, I'm writing it down so I don't forget.
TJ,
Okay.
hold on.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
TJ, you can go first. Go ahead. If you already have
No,
yours.
go ahead, Wyatt. Go ahead. You choose
Oh.
yours.
So, Bill, this is called Frosthaven, and I
Jesus
need you
Christ.
to read the rule book.
Is this for real? Is this? Are you being for real? I'll do it.
That was a joke.
Oh, okay.
You know
So
what?
what's yours for Bill? Ryan?
What I'll say for Bill is. I'm stalling
by the way,
because I haven't.
I'm going to
decided.
finish Scavenger's Reign probably like within
See,
the
Yeah,
next.
yeah,
I'll
exactly.
finish
That
it.
was
Yeah, I
my
think
first
that
thought.
Don't make that a thing because I'm gonna
That
watch
was my first thought, but
Yeah.
I know that you're probably already gonna watch it.
Mitch, it's probably more than 60 pages, man. That book is insane.
That rule book is probably close to the Expanse books. I don't really have one immediately. Ryan, do you have one for Bill?
Yeah, I have two that are old ones, and neither of these are locked
I have
in.
one that's old
Does he
too.
finish? Does he finish Arcane or does he finish Loki season 2?
Ooh,
I say
Arcane.
Arcane.
Loki
Arcane.
season
Man,
2
it's
because
close.
it's going to tie into Wolverine and Deadpool.
It will,
Well.
but my worry is how much will it? You know,
You think
will
he
he
just
get
needs to
enough
know the
from the
TVA
movie?
and that's it?
Yeah, I think he'll get. I think
get
they'll explain enough. They're not banking on every single person who's seeing that movie has watched.
I
all
think
of Loki
I
season
think
two.
Deadpool's
Arcane
gonna be
is
making jokes about it though. Deadpool's gonna be
Okay.
making
They
subtle
could.
So Ryan,
Probably. Is it-
Arcane.
All right. I think it has to be Arcane. Bill, it's time. Season 2 has been, we've got a teaser poster for it. You're going to start seeing trailers.
Yeah.
It is time. What?
Okay.
Here's the thing, though. You can't just start it at episode 4.
I'm gonna restart it.
Perfect.
I already plan on that. Yeah.
Very excited. Let me know when you do it. I'll watch it for the 5th time.
Okay. TJ.
I'm happy I get to make you do this because I've been telling you forever. Bill, you're going to fucking watch the HBO miniseries Watchmen.
Oh,
Wow.
it is God, TJ. That's such a
incredible.
great pull.
It is incredible, Bill. It's ridiculous you haven't watched it.
This is
You know,
so
you know who
exciting.
did the
All
score
right.
for that? Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross. And
Bill,
it's
this is
so good.
very exciting. I might
Oh
rewatch
my
that
God.
too.
Dude,
I just
it
want
is
to double down on that and just say, like,
unreal.
yes, that one's also mine for you. Also. Oh man,
TJ's
So
friend
good.
Power.
I've been waiting
now I'm
all
like
night.
going back into my head trying to think of like old stuff because I was all thinking about the stuff that we're like currently.
Why you already got me on Watchmen or not Watchmen? Expanse. But
That's true. That's true.
but you
I'm
had me
satisfied.
first,
with
Dylan.
Separate.
that. Mine is keep reading the Expanse and just keep texting me updates of where you're.
Yours can be challengers.
That's something. I mean, that's
If you
something
want.
separate. That's something separate. Like he's doing already.
Yeah.
Give him something else.
That's true.
Who had challengers already?
I told TJ to
He got
watch
it for me.
Challengers.
Oh,
Yeah.
you gave TJ challengers?
Yeah, I gave TJ Challengers. You know what? Because I think you like weird sci-fi concepts.
Wait, sorry, Yoshi. Upgrade is fucking phenomenal,
That's
dude.
true.
An
Bill
Upgrade.
told me to watch Upgrade a few months back.
I
and
did.
watched it, and it was
Why
great.
it was like, what should I watch? This or this? I'm like, watch fucking Upgrade if you want to watch
Yeah.
a movie, and it was fantastic. Love Upgrade. Go ahead.
A show that I think you will watch that I'm not sure if you've watched or not. Bill, have you ever watched The Leftovers?
Oh yeah, dude, give him that one. That's a good one. That's
Is that
a
a
fucking
G-
good
is
one.
that a Jesus movie?
It's an HBO show. No, it's not.
No.
It's very similar in terms of just like not even genre.
Wait,
I know
wait.
you like weird
This-
sci-fi
is the
concepts like
premise-
From, where there's like this, nobody really knows what's going on.
Yeah.
It is
Yeah.
one of my favorite shows of all time.
But
It's only 3 seasons and
good.
it's fantastic. Just
Three
start the
seasons.
first season.
the
That's mine
concept,
for you.
the concept is very Rapture-esque, right?
Yes, it is
Yeah,
that
so
there is
Bill,
a moment
that's all you need to
where
know.
it's a moment where
Okay.
2% of the population disappears and we don't know why.
2%.
Dude, it's so good.
So I have Watchmen, The Leftovers, and Arcane.
Oh, you just have bangers back to back.
Dude,
Like
that's-
I
I mean,
feel
that's
jealous
what we're
that you're
talking
gonna
about.
watch
I'm not gonna
all
make-
of those
I'm
the
sorry.
first time.
I'm sorry, and I'm probably peeking right now, but Paddington 1 and 2, you're fucking welcome because I guarantee it's gonna fucking
I
blow
have-
your mind.
I have Paddington, Shogun, and The Expanse. What?
Dude, you're gonna love Shogun.
This is the best thing
Goddamn.
we've ever done. This is
I
good.
have
this
The
is-
Expanse, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, and the erotica
Hell
tennis
yeah.
movie Challengers.
Why? What do you have?
I have, what do I have again? I have Paddington 1 and 2 from Bill. I have 3 Body Problem and then Song of Achilles from you.
Oh, damn. All right.
Yeah.
Very
I
cool.
like it. I like it.
Yeah, we're gonna do. Yes, Lewis. That is how the next episode is going to start of the other stuff show.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
got like
I love how it's evolving. Right?
Yeah, we've
This
got
is
like
great.
5
It's
or 6
becoming
months.
a thing.
You
Yeah.
know, maybe mid-November or so. We'll think
I
about.
think twice a year we should do this. Like,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
maybe
After
December,
harvest.
January.
Yeah.
ish.
Sometime in that area.
We'll do another one, and
we
then
can do our
halfway
end
through
of the
next year,
year,
we'll do-
like favorites of the year type of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
If you guys want us to do more, if you want us to do more other stuff, like let us know if you want to
Twice a
do
year.
more than twice a year.
yeah.
I think
depends
once a
on
quarter.
how quickly you finish your homework.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. I need a lot of time. Once a year is good.
Once
Not
a
even
year.
twice a year.
All right, that does it, guys. We got to get going. This has been
This
a
was a
long
long
one.
one.
So thank you for everybody for watching and hanging out with us in the chat. This was fun.
Yeah.
Go check out our Let's Play videos of the Invincible, the hero building game. They've been a lot of fun to play and edit and put together, and we hope to do more of them. And then otherwise, we'll be out with a new episode fairly soon. It won't be too long, and talking about more stuff. And not more stuff, more Invincible, because we're done talking about other stuff. And
Ever.
that's right. And thanks Yoshi for hanging out in the chat. Yoshi was on our most recent episode, so everybody go listen and watch our most recent episode with Yoshi. Yoshi was a ton of fun, and we hope to have him on again soon.
For sure.
So that does it. Thank you all for watching. We'll see you next time.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Bye.